Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're here to talk Spurs versus Chelsea in the second leg. Chelsea have got that 2-0 lead. That 2-0 lead going into this game. Team news, head-to-heads, lineup, open lines. Get your thoughts and opinions. We've got so much going on in regards to GNA TV this week. Tomorrow we've got a double show with the review from the Spurs game happening around this time, and in the evening the Prem show as well. Friday we'll be doing the Man City versus Chelsea preview as well. So much streaming coming your way, guys. Before we move forward though, you know what I do need to do? Cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well wherever it is that you may be around the world. Spurs versus Chelsea tonight, 7:45 p.m. kick off. Chelsea have got that 2-0 lead going into this game as well. There is potential that, I know tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, that there will be kick. I think Arsenal and Liverpool will be playing as well. So we'll see who Chelsea could potentially be getting if they can win tonight. But it is a big game at Spurs' ground. They do have a lot of injuries. Chelsea themselves are going to potentially miss some key players going into this game. But we do have that comfortable lead. Image of Mr. Mason Mount on the front tells me that he will be starting tonight as well. We will be doing that lineup, that potential lineup. Not only one, but two potential lineups tonight for you guys to get involved in. Let us know your thoughts and feelings and opinions as well. We'll jump into it as always. 24 of you here. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel as always, please. Let's see what people were saying in the chat. Gavman says, afternoon, my G. Hope tonight get the job done. No injuries. Yep. Getting the job done with no injuries would be great. Absolutely perfect. Souza says Marina out. He's still pissed off with Marina. Souza, calm yourself, man. Calm yourself. We are going to be doing a little talk about transfers in January and the overall feeling with the board and Tuchel and potentially why maybe when we might not be rushing into sign players. And that's something I think we can talk about for another show. I really want to delve into that because looking on social media, I do see a bit of a split or a divide in the Chelsea fan base in regards to signing and not signing. Now, I was on the side of we need a left wing back. I still think we do need a left wing back to compete. Don't get me wrong. To compete at the highest order, we need to have strength in depth in positions. But if the proposed player that Tuchel and the board want is not available in January, then we cannot go rushing in to try and get players that ain't there. January is a very hard time to get business done. So is it a thing of that maybe we have to kind of just stick with what we got and Tuchel has to accommodate what we have potentially? Can we bring back players from loan as backup? Yes, I know we're trying with Emerson. There's been talks about Dujon Sterling potentially covering the right wing back area as well. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot that I think we have to really, rather than jump the gun and just go, they're crap, they're not doing their jobs, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you have to have this context to it and you have to break it down. You have to understand that side of it. If you still think after understanding what the reasons may be that we're not buying, then fine. I want us to buy it. I think we should be ruthless. Lucas Digne is going to Aston Villa. Maybe that's just purely because they wanted him to be bought and not being loaned. And I do think we pushed for the loan. I do think our board and that were pushing for a loan and they would have took Lucas Digne on a loan. Maybe we just didn't want to spend 20 plus million or 25, 24, whatever it is million on Lucas Digne because he wasn't our long-term option. Maybe that is the case. You know, so there's a lot. We'll do it. We'll do a show on that. We'll definitely do a show on that. If it's not this week, at the beginning of next week or something, talking about that. Big up to Noah in the house as well. Says big up, Jim. Please beat that lot down, the Seven Sisters, bro. Yeah, we will try, my man. Big up, Hunter CFC. Perry Sports, nice to see you in the house as well. I'm back again. Andre's always in the house. Big up to my guy there. Chelsea boy, 1-2-3 for sign a win back already. Yeah, there's been talks about Adama Traore again, which is unusual. It doesn't seem to be going away. First of all, being linked with him, then not. Now it's come back again. Adama Traore as a potential backup to Chelsea. I don't think it's the worst thing. Yes, you could look at his stats and base it on the outputs and it not being too good. But in terms of the weapon that he is and the effect that he could bring to this system, a different style, I think we could benefit from it. I mean, we would have two big shithousery bulldozering guys up front in Lukaku and Adama Traore. Can you imagine that? Them two together. That would be fun to see. Baby oiled Adama Traore doing his bits, you know. But look, that may or may not happen. I don't know. You know, Spurs are interested in him. Chelsea apparently are interested in him. We just have to see. You know, if Tuchel wants him, I back it. That's the way I see it at the moment. Big up to JJ. Declared. Big up to you as well. Bex says smash the likes. Big up to her. Concierge of Crime is in the house as well. Strip Bear. Nice to see you again. She says Marina is a goddess. Relax. Gem. Thoughts on 4 at the back formation. Sumia. Nice to see you in the house as well. I like the 4 at the back formation, and that's why when we do the formations in a bit, I will be doing 2 different separate formations because I do think there's a 4 at the back option, but I also think we could potentially switch to 3. I do expect us to switch to the 3 against City. I don't see us playing the 4 at the back, but against Spurs it worked very well, and that's why I think that there is potential that we might, you know, we might revert back to that tonight. I think that could happen, you know. 2 seconds. But yes, nice to see you in the house as always. Who else have we got here? Perry Sports says, thought you wasn't able to bring back Matson and Emerson due to some of the clause. Am I right in thinking so? Yes, you are right to a degree. With Dujon Sterling, we have till Thursday. Emerson, we can, but we have to provide compensation to Lyon, and they still, even though they've declined us again in recent moments, there's still talks that potentially this still could be done. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. Mo, big up to you. Some people moaning now will start crying a year from now when we have more deadwoods in the squad. So it feels about it. We're up. Big up to you. Mendy test positive or just false positive? Well, originally he got tested positive, didn't he? I've not heard anything about the false positive. I'm not too sure. Strip Bear, thank you for the donation. As always, guys, if you do want to donate to the channel, there is the option of super chats as well. So if you put your super chats in, your questions get answered as priority on this channel as well. And in the meantime, I thought it'd be good. Big up to Matt Smith as well. Nice to see you, bro. I was going to ask you guys about the potential of merchandise. I have been approached by someone that said they would like to make some jumpers, some hats, some t-shirts with the GNA TV logo on it. Now, I'm still in 2 minds to do it, but like I said, I'd rather talk to you guys, the viewers, the people that are here mostly all the time as well. Would you be interested in a jumper, a hat, for example, or a cap, a t-shirt? If so, let me know in the chat because it's good feedback for me now moving forward. If we do it, it'll be an affiliate link in the description for you to click, which then you can go and pick your size and go and order as well. But yeah, if you are interested, let me know because I have had someone on my case for a while saying, do you want merchandise? I think GNA TV merchandise will be good. But yeah, it'd be interesting to get your thoughts, guys. A club like ours should be in Gozens or Davis, not mid-table quality like Traore, who would be holy grail for the likes of Spurs. Traore's more of a forward, isn't he? I mean, Gozens and Davis, I get. You know, Gozens is my long-term target. I would like Gozens at this football club in the summer. That's my preferred left wing back. In terms of Traore, I do think he can offer a lot, but you've got to bear in mind he plays in a Wolves team, which is pretty dead as well, especially when it comes to create. You know, he creates a lot. A lot of what he creates doesn't get converted, even with Raul Jimenez in there as well. Baby oil budget about to triple. Who else we got here? So's a big up. Matty K, nice to see you in the house, my man. Nice to see you in the house. What else we got here? Chelsea got to pay 3 times more to get their own players. Hats would be cool, is what Strip Bear's saying. All right, fair enough. GNA TV hoodies and water bottles. Water bottles, yeah? Water bottles. Okay, interesting one. Yeah, look, hoodies and jumpers I'm definitely looking to do. I think they'll be quite good. Hats, Strip Bear will definitely do as well. Do a hat. We could do maybe like a nice cotton t-shirt as well with the GNA TV logo in it as well. T-shirts, 100%. Again, you know, it will be a variant of different colours, but with the logo on it. It won't be a big logo. It won't be like GNA TV or it. It'll just be like a little GNA TV logo. Maybe like, see what I've got here? Like something like that. I don't want it to be too in your face. Do you know what I mean? For you guys to wear. And I'll probably buy some myself and wear it when I'm streaming. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I haven't decided as to go ahead with it yet, but I'm thinking about it. I would only buy it if it has your face on it. Declare, man. Fuck's sake. What, you want me? You want my face on it smiling? You're starting to scare me, man. You're starting to scare me. Weird, but okay. Is what Strip Bear's saying. Big up to Oli AC in the house. T-shirts is what JJ wants. Chelsea look out at signings. Lucas Hernandez from Bayern Munich. He can play as a centre back and left back. I've not seen any links to him though. I've not seen in recent times any links to Chelsea and Lucas Hernandez. Yeah, you know, there's potential that Chelsea. Look, we would be linked with everyone and then anyone and everyone. It's just Chelsea Football Club, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. Chelsea moving like a small club. We are 2-time champions of Europe, first club. Yeah, but so who do you want them? Who do you want? It's really deep it though. Who do you actually want to come in? You know, that would be my question. Do you like the 4-2-3-1 formation and do you think Chelsea are going to play in that? I think personally, yes. I am going to do 2 separate formations in a bit, which we're going to get into next. But I do think the 4 worked against Spurs. Now, do I think Conte will adapt and switch? Probably not, because I do think he's very naive in the way that he likes to play. So do I see much change in the system? No. I would if I was Conte, because they really struggled at the bridge in containing the 4-2-2-2 or the 4-3-3, whatever you want to call it. But we'll have to see. It's going to be an interesting one tonight because they do have to come out. Spurs have to come out. They have to, you know, get in our faces. They have to get that early goal for me. They have to get an early goal. And for us, we just got to go out there and treat it like it's any other game. Ignore that it's a 2-0 lead and go and score goals. I don't want us to be complacent and just keep the ball sideways, backwards. I want us to be aggressive. I want us to get in their face. And I want us to be effective. Yeah, I want us to be a problem. We got to play like we you know, like it's a final and we haven't got a lead. That's what I think Tuchel will be drilling in their heads. So make sure it has a big smile on it. My locals should know who you are. Happy birthday to Strip Bear for tomorrow. It's going to be my birthday tomorrow, so we're going to buy loads. Big up to Strip Bear. I mean, we'll be doing a stream tomorrow anyway, so big up to you and happy birthday to you if you're not here. Anyway, let's not forget Aspie can play left back in the and played it during the Mourinho second spell. He did, but he was at a period when he was a lot more athletic. It's probably the word I'd use. You dodged a bullet. Digne is one of those players that don't perform in big games. What Ram's saying. Kante came without Son is a peanut butter without jelly. Not the same effect. I hear you, Wira. I hear you. But let's get into it. Let's jump into some bits and bobs that I have. Jim, you could do Mason Mount speedos for Johnny. Picture of Mason Mount like this, how he is now on speedos. Johnny will buy the whole lot. How many you got? I'd say 1,000. You go, they're all mine. They're all mine. Johnny Wood as well. Johnny Wood. Big up to Great Time Showtime as well. Is Silva and Kante back? We're going to delve into that now as well. All right, let's move. Keep smashing the likes though, guys, please. I'm sure we haven't got enough likes. We've only got 28 likes. We should have at least 40 to 50 likes now. Over 70 of you here, 15 minutes in. Please get them likes up for the channel. We're going to quickly just do some... We're going to talk a bit of team news. In terms of Tottenham, they will be missing a couple players. Son is out with muscle injury and could be out for a little while, which is a big blow to them. Steven Bergwijn is also unavailable. Eric Dyer has a calf injury as well. Christian Romero is also out of a hamstring. But the biggest miss for them is Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son is a player that, out of all of them, I probably worry about the most in his movement, in the way that he plays the game. That is a big loss for them. If it remains to be seen whether Ndombele will be involved after he was booed off the pitch by supporters, which I didn't even know. So that may be a case that he isn't being played. The provisional squad for Tottenham is Lloris, Golini, Emerson, Sanchez, Taganga, Doherty, Davis, Roden, Reguilon, Højbjerg, and Ndombele, Wink, Skip, Ali Mora, Gill, Kane, Scarlett, Lo Celso. Now, I look at that team, and if that's their provisional squad, I mean, going forward, barring Harry Kane, it's what where are the goals coming from? All right, Mora maybe to a degree, but again, he's not a goal scorer. Ali is just, for me, turned into a flop. Lo Celso is not even rated at Spurs, hardly played. Skip, who they rate as being a really good player, the best in the Tottenham team, ain't going to score you goals. I look at that team and I think they struggle for goals. They have to get Harry Kane involved. How do they get Harry Kane involved? I don't know. In terms of Chelsea, Thiago Silva and N'Golo Kante could return for Chelsea after COVID-19 isolation. Brazil defender Silva and Kante were bidding to prove their fitnesses in training on Tuesday. Yes, N'Golo Kante and Thiago Silva are both back in training. Do we think they'll start? We'll talk about that a bit later on when we do the lineup. Cesar Azpilicueta, Antonio Rudiger and Marcos Alonso can return, having been rested in the FA Cup win over Chesterfield, but Trevor Chalobah remains sidelined. So, in terms of players that are missing, Chalobah, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, is what I'm hearing here. In terms of Chelsea's provisional squad, Kepa, Bettinelli, Silva, Rudiger, Christensen, Sarr, Aspie, Alonso, Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho, Sal, Barkley, Loftus-Cheek, Mount, Pulisic, Havertz, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Lukaku, Vale and Hall are the two academy players that have made it into the provisional squad as well. Could we see them tonight? Could we see Hall come in? This is what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting to try and guess, because the one thing we can't do as fans is guess what Tuchel's going to do, right? Every time I come on here and I predict a lineup, or we predict a lineup together, it's like he does the complete opposite. He ends up playing a strong team with all these players. And do you know what I mean? So for me, it's my jumper's on the floor and my shorts. Let me pick them up quickly. For me, it's more of a we just guess. We really, really do. And we're going to do that very soon. But we've got to do the most one of the things that people. It's good to know, guys. I like doing the head-to-heads. So when's the last time Tottenham beat Chelsea, etc.? Tottenham versus Chelsea. The last time we played them was on 2021, where Chelsea won 3-0. Then we played them again on February 21. We beat them again 1-0. So the last two at Spurs' ground, we've won. We then beat them in the League Cup. When it was 1-1. Did we beat them in the League Cup? I think they beat us in the League Cup, didn't they? I think they did. Anyway, we move. Tottenham, again, lost 2-0 to us. And then when I look at when we actually lost the game, it was 1-0 back in 2019 of Jan. And then back-to-back again, we lost 3-1 to them in 18. So 19-18 was the last time I think we've properly lost. But the League Cup, I think, here in 2020 was I think it went to penalties. Did we lose at penalties to Tottenham? I can't remember. I really can't remember. That was under the Lampard season, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. But anyway, I think we've won more than we've lost with them anyway, and especially in the last 5 or 10 games as well. So it is a ground that's not it's not, say, a bogey ground in many ways, a bit like what Arsenal have become recently of times. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it plans out. Isn't Broja being lined up by Southampton to be snatched for 25 million? Listen, if Broja is a part of this Chelsea team, yeah, and Tuchel makes it clear that there is an opportunity for him to get involved, I don't see Broja going to Southampton, even if they want him. Even if they want him, he will want to fight and play for this football club. And I like Broja from what I've seen so far at Southampton. He's a good player. Is it still very early? Yes. Does consistency have to come into consideration? Yes, of course it does. Of course it does. Consistency has to come into this chat. Hall and Vale, great time, you crazy. That's the semi-final Rudy's playing. We're going to talk about all that now, guys. We're actually going to talk about that now. But we are only on 39 likes, over 82 of you here. Let's get them likes up, guys. Close that gap to 50. If you're new to GNA TV, please subscribe because we're on the road to 4K subscribers. So please get involved. Potential members opening as well. I forgot to mention, we might be able to open the members soon. Where you should be able to become members of the channel as well. Big up to Lee as well. TJK, nice to see you in the house. Jim, do you think we have the worst board in Premier League? No, hell no. No, we do not. Mount missed the last penalty kick. Yes. So it was 1-1 went penalties and Mount missed it. Yeah. We will see. Hall 1 is what Strip Bear's saying. Hassan saying Chelsea confirmed they're keeping him for next season. Tuchel wants him in his plans. That's Broja as well. Big up, Jem. Big up to DJ Sabj in the house as well, man. Nice to see you, DJ, as always, my man. We're going to do that proposed lineup. Let's go through it together. Broja got finishing like Greenwood and can shoot from distance. Can hear that? Yes, I will. Once I suss out how to do it. Once I suss out how to do it as well. Just sorry, while I'm on here, I get a lot of emails coming, not emails, messages coming as well. Okay, who are these lot though? Who are these lot? Okay, fair enough. I'm going to share this very quickly before we actually go into until we go into the team lineups. Antonio Rudiger now wants to stay at Chelsea. Talks have continued over a new contract. His current deal this summer. Source at CF Bayern, Christian Falk is the guy that has come out with these comments. But that's the latest news. Just been shared by DJ Subject. Thank you very much for getting that in for us. There it is. Antonio Rudiger now wants to stay at Chelsea and talks have continued over a new contract. His current deal finishes in the summer. That tells me that it could potentially stay. But at the same time, it's going to swing in roundabouts, man. I keep telling you guys, I told you this last year in November when he was predicted to leave the football club. This is going to swing round in roundabouts. We're going to be led into thinking that he's staying and then he's going and then he's staying and he's going and he's staying and he's going to go. Like that is literally how it's going to go, guys. What's this about? What am I doing here? 2 seconds, guys. Two seconds. I'm just trying to quickly put this in like the bottom as like news for people that are coming in as well. 2 seconds. There you go. I'm going to leave that there. We ain't going to dwell on it too much, but for what people say in the chat from it as well. DiMaggio said something different. Did he really? Falk is a fraud, is what Chelsea boy saying. To be honest, Richardson can leave. I don't care. What he said. Check out Absolute Chelsea's Twitter. Every time I'm about to go into something, I come off topic. This is Chelsea. This is actually the life of being a Chelsea fan, isn't it? Oh God, it's coming out left, right, and centre now, isn't it? There we go. All right, cool. So then we've got on another side of things this comment from Absolute Chelsea. Antonio Rudiger on his Chelsea future. You won't hear from me until the day of the final decision. That tells me that he doesn't know where he's going and what he's doing. Maybe he's still negotiating with Chelsea. Maybe he's still waiting for PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Who knows? That don't really tell me anything other than he's waiting. He's still waiting. In Marina, we trust is what Great Time's saying as well. If we get a decent replacement, then I'm fine with Rudiger leaving, is what TJK's saying. Is it her birthday tomorrow as well? Interesting. Big up to Bluey MCFC. Nice to see you in the house. Nice to see you in the house. But yeah, so Christian Fultz came out and said that Antonio Rudiger does want to stay and he's talking to Chelsea and trying to get a contract sorted. And then on the flip side of things, we've got Absolute Chelsea coming out with a quote from Alto Belli. I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about Alto Belli. I was part of Sports Build and Build. Yeah, so he's coming out saying that Antonio Rudiger's comments are straight as here. It says, "You won't hear from me until the day of the final decision." That basically means, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm staying, going. I don't know what's going to happen. So let's see what happens. All I will say is that this will go round in circles, round and round and round and round. Rudiger will be staying, then he's leaving, then he's staying, and he's leaving, then he's going to go, and then he's got this stuff on, and this. I just can't be bothered with it. I really can't be bothered with it. 3.3 million recall, a joke. 500k loan fees. These lot made a 2.8 million profit for 6 months for Emerson. That's what Hassan's saying. Big up to Alpha as well. Christensen can go injury prone. Man City and Juventus are interested in Rudiger and approach Di Marzio. Man City and Juventus are interested in Rudiger. Interesting. Bring Kunde. I keep saying it. Give NG a contract extension as well. All right, let's move. I want to stay on topic. We're going to do the lineups. We're going to do lineups. We are going to do it because we're getting sidetracked. Guys. Over 100 of you guys here already. Make sure we get them likes up. Only 47 likes. Let's close the gap to 75 likes, guys. We can do that, please, as well. Antonio Rudiger is currently in talks with Juventus, Man City, Tottenham, and PSG. As things stand, he will join one of these 4 clubs. See what I mean? It just swings in roundabouts, doesn't it? Do you know what? I'm not even going to put that up. That can just come off. There you go. More Antonio Rudiger news coming in strong and fast. Christian Fultz saying that he wants to stay at Chelsea. He wants to commit. He's staying at Chelsea. On the flip side, you've got Di Marzio coming out saying that he wants to go to either one of these 4. I do not agree. Tottenham, hell no. Man City, I don't think so. Juventus are having problems at the moment. I don't see that happening. The only one out of them 4 that I think he could go to is PSG. And that's because they've just got the money. That is literally it. Other than that, I don't see him going to any of them. Big up to Leslie in the house. Big up to Josh as well. To the Turkish Dom. Big up to you, my guy. Nice to see you. How did Chelsea beat this Tottenham team tonight and how do they approach it? There's going to be 2 different formations for me. I think we'll start with what I think we will do, actually. It's what I think we will do, which is the 4-2-2-2. I think the 3-4-3 will be back against City. Like I said, I'll give you 2 different formations. The reason I think we should play the 4-2-2 is because it worked so well the last time round. Why change something that worked? And Conte and the Spurs players looked uncomfortable. They looked very uncomfortable. And we need to impose ourselves on them. So by doing that means that we have more forwards on the pitch, which means we control the game better. Yeah, we have Kovacic and whoever else in there as well, working hard. The defence, make sure it's organised. It's only going to really be Harry Kane. Son's not there to use his movement to cause problems. I don't worry too much about Harry Kane and his movement. Mora can be a problem if he gets enough of the ball and makes decent runs. Other than that, Dele Alli, really? This is what I'm saying. We need to, again, oppose ourselves on them. Exactly how we did in the first game round. Treat it like it's 0-0. Go and try and score goals and dominate the game. Don't think about the 2-0 lead and allow them time on the ball and show respect. I don't want to see any respect tonight. I don't want to see us giving any respect to Tottenham. I want us to get stuck in. I want us to make it hard for them. I want us to be aggressive. It's a cup game at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's a cup game at the end of the day, and I expect us to do that. In terms of Tottenham, can they hurt us? Of course they can. They're at home. They're going to have this crowd behind them. They will really have to have a 10 out of 10 game and to do that, they're going to need all their players to be able to, having an amazing game. Everything's going to have to go on their side. Refereeing decisions. Chelsea are going to have to be kind of poor as well. And they're going to have to create for Harry Kane. And if they don't create for Harry Kane, I think it's going to be a long night for them. And that's why I said be aggressive, Chelsea. Be aggressive. 4-2-2-2 is what I think we will do. I think it's the way forward in this game tonight as well. Some people might say 3-4-3 is better defensively, but I don't think the right move is to go defensively. The 4-2-2-2 gave them so many problems. Who's in goal tonight? It's quite easy. Kepa is coming back in. Kepa will be put back in the game. So I'm going to go with Kepa in goal. I'm then going to go with a back four of Aspie, Alonso. I'd actually like to see Lewis Hall personally, but I don't know if I can find Lewis Hall. Let's try Lewis Hall. Nah. All right, Alonso. Alonso or Lewis Hall is what I'd say. Because I think Alonso plays because Lewis Hall played the full game against Chesterfield, and I don't see him coming in on that. In the middle, I think we could throw in Rudiger. And I think you'll see Christensen. Now, I know Thiago Silva is available. Would I start him in this game? No, I wouldn't start him in this game. I want Thiago Silva to play against Man City, and the same with N'Golo Kante. We were going to get to in a bit, but for me, that's a strong enough five. That's a strong enough five to deal with whatever comes at us. We've got pace in the middle. Aspie and Alonso are playing in the positions that they can do with maybe a job in. You know, Trevor Chalobah's injured, so it limited us to that. Lewis Hall could potentially come in and play there. It could happen. And I'd like to see Hall. Don't get me wrong. I know some people are screaming Sarr. Sarr comes in, all right. But if Sarr comes in, I think it will be for Christensen, and then it will be like that. I just think that Christensen could have minutes, but I just think Rudiger will play. So that's why I think Rudiger will play there, and I think Sarr may be rested tonight, and Christensen, who needs minutes, will come in. That's why I think it might happen, especially away as well. But we'll see. In terms of the two in front, I'm going with Kovacic, and I'm going with Jorginho. Obviously, Jorginho. Again, I don't feel that N'Golo Kante should play this game. I know Kazim from QNTV seems to think he should. I personally wouldn't play him. I'd rest him. I'd give him. Give him game 6. What I'd do with Kante and maybe Silva, give him some minutes in the second half. You know, if you find yourself 1-0 up with 3-0 in aggregate, and you just want to give people minutes, you've got 5 subs. Use them. Use them. You know, I know Sound Niguez is another one that people think potentially could have an opportunity tonight. Again, Jorginho didn't play the last game. Kovacic did. I mean, you could see Jorginho Sal potentially, but I just think you'll see Kovacic in this game tonight. I just got a feeling Jorginho Kovacic could happen. I think on this side, I think no, actually. I think Mason Mount's going to be there. I think you'll see Mason Mount, and then I think you'll see Ziyech. I just got a feeling Ziyech is going to play tonight. Up front for me, Kai Havertz is a defo for me. And I think you'll see Timo Werner play. But I do think it will be heavily rotated. I do think it will be heavily rotated. I do think that you'll see Lukaku come on in the second half, Werner come off the pitch, or Havertz. I think you'll see Kante get minutes for either Jorginho or Kovacic. He'll come on. I think you'll see Silva potentially come on for one of the two at the back. You may throw Malang Sarr in and take him off, or Lewis Hall, if Lewis Hall won't play him. Take Alonso off and play him there. Like, there's a lot we can do, right? 5 subs. 5 sub rule. Do you know what I mean? So we can still rest and we can still give minutes to other people that may need minutes. You know? That's what I think. The game is not done. If Spurs get an early goal, it's a different look. They're capable of comebacks. Remember Ajax. Without Son, you know, we'll have to see. I don't know. I think Mount will start because he's on the front of the match day, and whoever's usually on the front of the match day usually starts, right? So I think he probably starts. Could Sound get start potentially? Cho, Hakim, Timo, and Lukaku is what Lee's saying. Fair enough. Like I said, I'm probably going to be wrong. It'd probably be the complete opposite. We all have wild guesses, and it ends up being the opposite. So yeah, it's left for guessing. Put it that way. Start Lukaku tonight and play Timo against City's highline. Lukaku never performs in big games. Look, Lukaku. I wouldn't personally play Lukaku tonight. I would play him in the second half. I'd play Havertz and Timo. And for me, Lukaku has to start against Man City. Give him minutes. Minutes is fine. But we don't need him to start in this type of game. For me personally, I think we can get away with a bit of movement in Havertz and Werner, which I think will give them problems equally anyway. CH Pully, Timo, Havertz, not Mount, please. I think Mount's going to start. Jim, they did it without Kane, who was the best striker in the world at the time, but they got Son. We're a team that like dominating the ball and keeping the ball. And yes, they could still cause us problems. And I agree, if they get an early goal, it could be a completely different game. But I don't see how. If we play to the level that I know we can play, I don't see how they do that. That's what I'm saying, Ram. I just don't see it. Rebecca says if Rom doesn't start, part 3 of the interview is getting released. I like that one. Without Son, Kane looks like a little lamb. They're going to rely on more moments of magic. JJ Bridge says Big Rom needs to play every game as punishment. Big up to you. Thank you for the donation as well. Yeah, I agree. I hear you on that. I'm telling you now, Lukaku won't do anything against City. Werner would cause more problems. He will, but I think Werner and Lukaku could potentially play. But I think Lukaku will play. That's what I'm saying. Now, the other option we quickly got, and I am going to open up the lines really shortly, is we could go back to the 3-4-3. And if we do go back to the 3-4-3, I think it will be like this. I don't think Ziyech will play there. I think you see Havertz there. I think Werner over there. Mount on the right. And then I think you'll see Pulisic. So if we went for the 3-4-3, I think it would look like that. Yeah, I think it would look like that. But yeah, again, I wouldn't personally. I think we could probably get away with. I think we could probably get away with the 2 seconds. The Russian bot messaging me. There you go, Russian bots. There you go. Yeah, I think this is the way it would look. I wouldn't do this personally. I'd save this for the Man City game. I'd play with the 4-2-2-2. I think we can hurt them with that. I think we've got goals in us in the 4-2-2-2. I don't think they actually know what to do with this system. I think Hakim is starting regardless of the formation. If Hakim starts off regardless of the formation, then the only thing I could see happening is Werner not playing and Ziyech playing there. But you have Mount, Ziyech, and Havertz. That could happen. That could definitely happen. For sure. Why is this so zoomed in? Jem, why are you picking Christian if Silva is fit unless you're looking to keep the Brazilian fully fit? That is literally it, mate. I literally am thinking ahead, and I just think that in regards to Thiago Silva and Kante, I would give them minutes. 100%, I'd give them minutes, but I just wouldn't play them at the beginning of this game. I want them for City. I do think they probably do need minutes. 5 subs for the 5 sub rule does help with that as well. So I would potentially look to give him. Minutes in the second half if it's 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. It is what it is, isn't it? Tottenham just tried to chase us last time. That's true. That's true as well. Timo will come on for an ineffective Mount. I pray. That's what we're saying. Jim, can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Sal and Ziyech will start. No Lukaku. Yeah, I mean, Sal could happen. I just don't. I'm not 100% sure if it will. Ziyech, I think will play. I think will play at some point. I don't think we'll play this 4 at the back for me. I agree, bro. Listen, Matty K, I think it will be a 4 at the back as well. 100%. 100% it will be a 4 at the back. It will be at 4 at the back. We have got Redneck here as well. Redneck, what you saying, my man?
What's going on?
All good, man. All good. All good. I mean, I've just broken down 2 different formations. 4-2-2-2, 3-4-3. I think it's going to be more of a 4-2-2-2, to be honest, with Alonso.
As the world known as Big Dick Formation?
Huh?
As the world's known formation, it's called Big Dick Formation. 4-2-2-2. Draw the line.
Yeah. I don't think Pulisic would start if we played the 4-2-2-2. I think Werner might probably start with Havertz up front if we do that.
I think Lukaku and Timo Werner will start.
Do you really?
Yeah, Man City game, man. Man City is on Saturday, early game too.
So what makes you think they will start this game then? Is my point. But I would say play, save Lukaku, bring him in on for minutes in the second half, and just play Werner and Havertz and just switch Werner with Lukaku later on. That's what I would do personally. Christensen up front, please. This guy, man, he just doesn't get any.
I don't understand why you're so bitter about Christensen. He's a really good defender, man.
Right, I just don't understand why he has such a fascination over him. That's my thing with it. Like putting up weird agendas. Do you know what I mean? Of him. But
he just anyway, yeah. I think. Do you really think that Lukaku is going to be a big thing at Man City?
He has to be, and this is why I'm saying you can't have £100 million striker not able to play in big games. We have to play in big games.
I know,
weird,
but
we can't do that. It doesn't make no sense. You know, it has to play. So people saying he can't play Lukaku against City because he's not a big game player. Come on, man.
It's not about that. It's not about that. It's. I don't know.
This lineup is a bit too strong still.
Well, we have a pretty strong squad. No matter who you're taking out, it's going to be pretty strong.
The squad's got to start strong.
Yeah.
This is too strong. Some of these guys need to be saved for Saturday.
Like who?
Mount, Ziyech.
Yeah, but if you have 5 subs and you can get an early goal, like an early lead, you can use your subs.
You got an early. I mean,
yeah, you got 5 subs, man. You got 5 subs.
That's what I'm saying. Use the 5 sub rule and just give them minutes. You're going to bring Kante and Silva on a bit later. Throw Hall on if you want.
So who are you going to bring in for Kovacic or Jorginho? Kante?
Yeah, you got to get some minutes on his leg.
Barkley, Robin Loftus-Cheek, Saul.
I would probably start with Saul and Kova. I wouldn't play Jorginho.
I guarantee you there'll be kids on the bench, and once we're like 2-3-0 up, then that's
you guys
it.
actually think we're gonna go 2-3 up against Tottenham right now?
Yes.
First
You're gonna come out with your strongest squad. You already
do you know that this Tuchel is not watching this stream and like gonna base his lineup based on this lineup, right? You know that we just
my opinion.
No. I'm saying
I disagree with it.
No, but you say the way you're saying it, it's like we're forcing this. It's just opinions too. We just I don't think
my words to the heart. It's not like that. I'm just saying, for my opinion, this is we have a game on Saturday against the number 1 in the league. Why would he play all these players?
I'll go outside. I agree.
I agree. It's a strong squad. I don't think Jorginho will start. I don't think Kova will start.
Jam, you know what? He's right. Let's go ahead and get Jorginho out of there. Let's get Saul in there. That's
Rudiger. You playing Rudiger over Sar? Sar has played this whole competition. You're gonna take him out
last game.
Yeah, Rudiger definitely needs minutes.
I think Malang Sarr will play this.
But then Christensen don't play then, does he? That's the
we'll fuck him off. I don't like the snake anyway.
Christensen needs to be playing against City. He's better
because
he's better tactically. He's better
No,
tactically defender against.
Silva,
No.
Rudiger, and maybe Christensen.
It will be here. I can
Yeah.
tell you a lineup for the back against City. It's gonna be Rudiger, Silva, and Christensen. I bet you money that's the three gonna be.
I like
Because
that.
this
I
is
agree
the
with
best
that.
three center backs.
I agree.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
Jem, you're talking about agendas. I know your agenda against Christensen, so
I mean, I put Christensen in. I had him in this game today.
I know, but you did it with the sneaky thing, like, oh, he needs to play now because he's not gonna play on Sunday because Sunday is more important game.
He needs minutes. But then, for me personally, if Chalobah was fit, he plays over Christensen. That's the way I see it right now. I think
Not a chance.
I think he will.
Yeah, I'm definitely dropping Mount in this game as well.
I don't think Mount. I don't look. I think we need to figure out this lineup for two halves because it's gonna be a different two halves.
Yeah.
It depends how you prefer. You prefer go strong in the first half or stronger second half. That's the difference. Because it's gonna be two halves with the five subs.
The only thing I'll say about this strong in the first half, strong in the second half. We've talked about this a few times on this stream, going, do you know what? You might go strong and then change to weak. You might go weak and then change to strong. I haven't seen one game all season where you would argue that Tuchel's played a weak side and then gone strong. He hasn't done it. He always starts with a strong team, and then if we're on track, he brings in the
and that weak thing one time he used it because of the injury. I remember that game. That's the
and you got and Tuchel does not plan ahead for City. He plays for the game that you're playing right now. It's very important for him to get to the final. He might have a little bit in his head. That's why in the second half you'll see the subs. But his main goal will be to make the final of this tournament.
The only time he thinks ahead is when he's in a final. So like the Champions League final, he'll think for that game. But until then, he'll play every game like it's a normal game until he reaches a final.
Can I throw something out there? Can I ask, how have we not, and maybe this, just me here, I don't know how you drop Saul. Not on his recent performances, his recent games, his last game. I know what we're saying. I know we're saying Covert and Jorginho are a better midfielders, 100%. They're a better partnership. But on form, I don't know how you drop Saul.
Yeah,
who's he replacing then?
Jorginho, of course.
Jorginho.
So you're going to take him on the bench?
And
I'm completely fine with that.
And I'm dropping one of the Germans.
What's going on?
I'm dropping one of the Germans. They don't play well together.
Kai Havertz is gonna be not the starter. I bet you he's not gonna be the starter.
I'd rather start Kai Havertz than Timo because Timo runs around like a headless chicken. I'm tired of Timo running.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you need to forget. You need to remember that Tottenham needs to score. So they're not gonna sit in the back.
Right.
So
do you think Lukaku's starting them? Is that what you're saying?
I think Lukaku will start.
Yeah, he has
100%. 100%.
I don't think so.
How do you have your £100 million player on the bench?
Because
we've got City
on the bench against Man City.
Yeah, he needs to be on the bench against Man City.
Saturday. It's an early kickoff. Are we forgetting this? Like, why are people not understanding? Like,
he'll probably come off the bench on Saturday. Sure.
We don't want to play our strongest team. Wait a sec. We don't want to play our strongest team, but we want to play Lukaku. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes, Jem.
No.
Every
game.
I never said
Strikers
that.
do not play. Jem. Strikers do not play like defenders, and they need the game. They need to be confident in the finishing. You're not play them because they're tired or anything. If you're gonna stop, they lose in the touch.
That's the case.
What I also say with Lukaku is look at how much ground he covers. He's not like a Timo Werner. He's not like a Mason Mount. He's not running all the way over the pitch, chasing back all the time. Don't get me wrong. He's got. He's a big man. He's a big man. But my point being is, realistically, I don't think there should be an issue with him playing today. Even if I don't think there'll be an issue with him playing 90 here and then 90 on Saturday. I don't see an issue with it. I think at his standard, with the way he plays, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, move him out over to the right.
People in the chat saying you need to play Lukaku all the time. That's the only way he can stay lean.
It's not untrue. That's not untrue.
Or just hit the pizza off his hands, man.
No, Conte was good at that. We don't have a Conte in our team to
if he starts, it will be.
I think he will start for Man City. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying he's not gonna play full Tottenham game.
Yeah,
and I think he's gonna play
70 minutes.
And I think he will play the first part, not the second part.
So wait, what's your back four then? Is it Alonso, Sarr, Rudiger, and Aspie then? What do you think?
I'll bring in Hall. I'll take Alonso out. I'll drop Alonso and bring in Hall.
I think Alonso. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
By the way, if we're talking about like how Saul progressed, what about Sarr? For me, he was the man of the match, the last one.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He's good. I don't even think we should loan him out to anywhere. He should stay because
I ain't jumping the gun yet. I need to see consistency from this guy.
He's been consistent for these past couple matches he's started.
But he was also crap.
We need to see more of him. We need to see more of him.
Of course, we need. I'm not saying he needs to be a bench in Rudiger. I'm saying like he's a good for the squad because, as I remember, people are actually shitting on the guy like he was the most horrible player and a human being in the whole world.
And he's
the only thing I'll say on Hall, and I know we've all seen enough of Alonso, but I would ask Chelsea fans not to be complete prisoners of the moment against the non-league side. He played very well in the game, but I don't know that you just throw him right in against the Premier League side.
Plus, I don't see Hall starting.
Alonso still has like a thing.
Alonso is undefeatable, man. He's undefeatable.
No. Alonso's the type of player, man. You're taking away a player that turns up against Spurs. Right. He always does. So you take the aspect away from him. What you're gonna see? Yeah. You're gonna see him
literally the one team he owns. He is Spurs' daddy.
He owns the stars. Yeah. He owns the stars against Tottenham.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I mean, Kepa definitely starts, doesn't he? No Bettinelli's coming in.
I wouldn't start Kovacic. I will start Robin Loftus-Cheek with Saul.
Oh no, I'm definitely not doing that. No way. No.
Whoa. Why not? Who's the midfielder in there for Tottenham?
You can't have Saul and Ruben Loftus. They play the same way.
I'm talking about based on everybody wants to rest the players against City. If you want to rest the players, that's how you.
Yeah, you could say Sal's way more of a sitter than Ruben. Especially like just look at what was the Chesterfield game. Like Sal played the 90, and I don't know if you could really even tell me he played in that game. Like he did really well of playing good and also being invisible the entire time.
But who did he play alongside the first half?
Can I? If you look at this a different way, because I'm pretty sure we're all going to agree on this, are we all in agreement that it's going to be Kovacic and Jorginho in the midfield v City? Because that's the one that makes sense to me.
I think Conte plays against City.
Conte.
Oh yeah, I suppose Conte.
Why do you think Jorginho and Kovacic play in that game?
No. To be fair, I thought Conte slipped my mind. I thought he might still be injured, but he's back, isn't he? He's back in training. So you're right. So I'd probably argue that you're probably going to start Jorginho and Kante.
Actually, based on the last time Kante and Kovacic played,
Kante and Kovacic.
I don't.
Milford is stronger. Your game plan is over.
So I think if you're going to play cover, you have to get game time in this game. Surely you're not just going to put him in.
We lost the midfield. We lost the midfield the first game of the season with them.
Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, no, I agree. But my point being is Cover hasn't played, so you're not going to just go chuck him in against Man City. He'll need game time this match. You're not just going to put him in raw, are you?
More game time than Jorginho before City.
I'd rather give it to Kova and Conte in the middle on Saturday for sure. I'm not with Jorginho anymore.
We'd have Alonso to his left. It's going to be, we're going to go to a 3-4-3 that game, didn't you? I've got
100%.
Yeah, we're going to go back to what we used to because we're going to match what.
That's why I think we'll play the 4-2-2-2 tonight because Tottenham had no clue how to deal with it last time. Really didn't have a clue how to deal with it, and I just don't see why we should change it. You know what I mean?
Plus it will keep Pep guessing.
Yeah, exactly. Keep him guessing. Ace Ready with a donation. Big up to you. It says Alonso tax or non-Premier League tax. You choose.
Alonso against Spurs.
Mount will start this game no matter what.
Yeah, Ziyech will be dropped and Hadori will play on the left.
Do you reckon? I think Ziyech will play this game. I just got this
I
weird
think I
feeling.
save him for the weekend. He gives the
Why is
ball.
everyone talking like we're not 2-0 up in this game?
Well,
But that's
the thing is, declared you have to make sure you finish the game early. That's the only issue.
Yeah, so we can go a bit lighter.
No.
Right,
I
okay.
think
No,
it's
we
the
can't.
better when you resting. If you play in a bit, if you here's the how I understand. If you planning to rest the players, so you don't bring the player to rest after the second half, you bring them in the beginning so you can rest them longer. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it depends how the game goes, Ellie.
We've got to fight.
Yeah,
guys.
I think I agree with Declare. I think it's Declare saying it. I think in a normal situation that's you do it, but when you're winning 2-0, I disagree. I think you're more likely to start a weaker
all
team.
opinions. It's all opinions.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So what I feel is that if we're still 0-0 at halftime, there's no need for changes. Just keep the players that you started with.
So declared, who would you play then? If you're saying weaker team, who's the weaker team like for you?
Well, I think players like Ziyech has to play. Saul.
Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, Hudson-Odoi.
Mason Mount.
Declared, I totally get what you're saying, but my only reservation to not starting your stronger side is you don't want to start a weaker side. Let Spurs get 2, and then now you've got pressure on you in the second half with guys that you're just bringing off the bench.
I agree 100%. I'm not talking about a complete weak team. Just
Positionally.
just those players that I just named, about 4 players that haven't been playing. That actually, like someone mentioned, I forgot. Sorry. That who's been in good form, like Saul and Sa. You know what I mean? And probably a lot of the players, the fringe players that played well in the first leg, probably deserve another go in the second leg.
Would you put Lewis Hall?
I'm totally fine with Sal playing in this game. I wouldn't have an issue with that.
Would you put Lewis Hall in there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you're still gonna have to have some kind of stability because even the players that don't play together all the time, they need the player that connects them in. And I think Mount is one of those players that connects the team. Jorginho, when he's playing, he's the one that connects. Well, he's the apparently architect.
Yeah, if you're going left and right and back to the center.
But then you have like Rudiger if he's in defense. You know what I'm saying?
That's what exactly. Alex, that's what I'm saying because
the main person in each position.
Yeah, so when I'm talking about 3-4 players, still keeping the backbone, right? And with the 5 subs, you still keep the backbone and still rotating, that's my view on it.
Yeah, like same thing. Like in the defense, the Rudiger is the one that how you say it, the backbone of defense. He can help Sar, he can help Alonso not get lost and stuff like that. He's verbal.
Yeah.
Then in the midfield, Kova is the. And then Mount is up top.
Playing, man. I just got a feeling Jorginho and Kovacic are playing tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see Jorginho starting as well.
If Jorginho starts this, he probably doesn't start City.
That's my point. And then you see Kovacic come off for Kante, maybe, or Sal, or whatever, in the second half a minute.
It could be Jorginho and Sal, actually.
Yeah,
it could be whatever, man. We never get the right start with this manager.
I said I think it's going to be Jorginho and Sal. I really do.
I think it's going to be similar to the first.
Definitely not Kai Havertz and Lukaku.
I don't think so. I don't think Lukaku plays. I keep saying
I think Lukaku plays,
man.
Yeah, I think Lukaku plays.
I think it'll be Werner and Lukaku. That's what I think. I think it'll be Werner and Lukaku. That's what I think. Oh, Werner and Havertz, sorry.
I think Havertz starts against City, though.
Havertz will start against City.
Thing I'll be adamant on. Again, I don't know if he will. Hopefully he doesn't. Everybody keeps talking about Lewis Hall, and I think, do you know what? He had a great game against a non-league team.
Come on, he's
17
years
I
old.
do not think he should be starting in this game. And honestly, I hope he doesn't.
But
it's not that. I think he had a great impact
on his face, man.
So if we're saying Callum starts on the left in this game, are we saying Pulisic starts against City?
Yeah, I'm playing Pulisic on the left against City. I am not playing Odoi. Nope.
He ain't gonna play Pulisic though. He's gonna play.
He's gonna play Kai Havertz, Mount, and Lukaku.
Yeah, Havertz, Mount.
That's probably fair. Yeah, you can see Pulisic as the right wing back, maybe.
Right wing back, probably.
Yeah.
Right wing back. I mean, we need Chalobah back because if Chalobah's back, then Aspie will go there, and then you're.
I don't want to risk Chalobah.
Not a
No,
chance.
Aspie's
It's
not
gonna
going
be
to right wing
Pulisic.
back.
It's gonna be Pulisic.
Oh,
I'd rather-
Christensen. Actually, I forgot about Christensen. Yeah.
I'd rather.
By the
leave-
way, is could be Azpilicueta today instead of Rudiger. He's the captain too. So
Do you think Christensen will play over Rudiger then? Do you think Christensen will be on the Rudiger will be on the bench? And then just throw
Not
Christensen.
Christensen.
My initial thought was to have Christensen
Azpilicueta.
start in this game.
Stop agenda. Azpilicueta, not Christensen.
What do you mean? No, I'm saying.
Azpilicueta on the right wing back and Pulisic on the right.
Oh, what? in the free
Azpilicueta right CB and Pulisic right wing back.
Nah, that's right
No.
back.
The right back.
What?
Whoever plays that right forward when we switch to a back three becomes a right wing back. Or that right
Yeah.
mid.
3-4-3.
So Azpilicueta
This is
is
a
not going to play as the one of
Centre
the two
back.
center backs. He's going to play on the right.
I don't see Rudiger being rested.
I see him
Honestly,
being
don't.
listed.
Yeah.
You like Christensen, though, Matty, didn't you? Christensen is one of your favourite
Well,
players.
Well, how I feel about the snake, but I'm going to try and have
I
I'm
forget.
going to try and have an
Rudiger played
unbiased
against
opinion.
Sheffield.
Go on.
I'll try and have an unbiased opinion against the snake. It's not that for me. It's how you get the best out of Rudiger. Rudiger wants to play every game. He loves to play every game. I don't think he needs the rest for the fitness levels. I think he could play this game and play the next game and be absolutely fine.
But have you seen Rudiger on the right?
Based on
No,
the
but
rumors, it could be his future club. He wants to know the stadium better.
Yeah, at least he will perform for his future.
Do you know what? It could be. Maybe I'm swallowing my tongue here by saying that I think Star will start. But the one thing I don't think is happening is I don't think Rudiger's going to be left out. Just my opinion. I think if I was to take any decision, that would be the one thing I'd take to the bank.
Remember, they're a little depleted on their attacking as well, so they don't have the Kim Jong-un guy, whatever his name is.
So my point is, they've got no attack force, right? Yeah, no, I agree. So my thought process is this, and maybe it's wrong, maybe people will disagree or agree, I don't really know. But my thought process is this: their attack force is looking shite. If we're just being honest, not shite, they've still got dangers. We need to not be ignorant, but it's nowhere near as threatening as it should be. So for me, you start a strong defense just to make sure that you don't concede any stupid, silly goals. And then that gives you the opportunity for your midfielder and your strikers to be your players that haven't had a run in, people that might be a little bit less out of form. It gives you a chance to rotate more.
That's why this midfield, this pair right here lacks pace right here. Jorginho is very slow on getting back and playing defense. He just, I don't think Jorginho should be playing.
I just don't see Tottenham having enough of the ball to actually worry about that. I think we're worrying too much about their pace and their threat. I think, just being honest, I think we're going to dominate possession. I think we're going to dominate the ball. Yes, they'll have a 10-minute spell here and a 10-minute spell there. But I think we will absolutely control the game from start to finish. I think they'll have a couple of chances. But I think we'll, again, maybe be optimistic. I think we'll be 2-0 up by the first half.
That's big.
You may want to rest him on Saturday. Aspie's 32. You may need to rest him for Saturday. Do you think Aspie could be rested in this game?
How old is Alonso?
I don't think you rest Aspie because I don't think Aspie plays on Saturday.
Yeah, I think we're going with Christensen, Rudiger, and Thiago.
Yeah.
And he'll play Pulisic or somebody right wing back.
Yeah, it'll be Pulisic. I think he's made it clear at this point that his backup right wing back is Pulisic. Yeah.
What are you saying, Daniel? How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm glad you guys. You did it at the end. You put Werner in, but you need to change that.
What do you think Lukaku should start tonight? Even though we've got City on 12:30 on Saturday.
Oh, well, you think Werner's going to start against City?
I'm just saying, what other option we got? Go on, tell me.
I mean, what are we saying here? Like,
it's funny.
Nah, actually, I don't really care, man. As long as we don't concede and lose to this team, and go into City confidently. I want to win, actually, because I want to go into that game a little more confident. I want Lukaku to get a couple goals. I think he starts. I
want a clean sheet. I want a clean sheet. I don't care if it's 0-0. I just want a clean sheet.
I agree, Russian.
I would love to see. I'm in with Dan in the sense that I want Lukaku to continue to score.
Of
and
course.
build his confidence, and that way going into City, he's feeling himself a bit.
Why does a £100 million striker need to be built
And then-
confidence, man? Someone answer.
Hey, that's the state we're. That's
Damn,
the state we're in.
come on, why you trigger people, man?
Yeah.
Because I'm being told that he scored 300 and he
Gab,
scored
just-
300 goals in his career. The guy knows how to score goals. He doesn't need.
Why are you asking people the ones that actually?
Gab, can I ask you a question? Let me revert it. Gab, you're saying why does a £100 million striker need confidence? My argument would be why does a £100 million striker who's not as active as some of the other runners out there need a rest?
True.
Well, because those Timberland boots are heavy, man. The guy has.
Jesus.
That's how he's burning. That's how he's burning that fat.
Wait, answer. It's time for interviews.
Oh shit!
You didn't see him sweating at the interview, you know that, right?
Was he sweating? Is he sweating? Listen, that guy sweats in like 2 minutes. Every time it goes on him, he's like dripping. I'm like, what is he taking before games? Is he like taking some sort of like accelerator of sweat or something? He's just always sweating, Lukaku. It's funny.
I'm saying it now. Lukaku scores in this game.
Yeah, but I can tell you the same thing that Timo Werner never sweats, or or Ziyech. Ziyech, if you look at the Ziyech, he doesn't look like he's sweating ever.
He runs more than everyone, and he don't sweat. It's so weird. Like it looks like
Kepa don't sweat, and he should be sweating all the time.
Do you know what I mean? But listen, we've got obviously, we hopefully fingers crossed we should get the job done. They are missing a player. The only player that worries me with Spurs is Son, and he's not playing really. So Kane, I feel like we could do a job on, providing that we lack the creativity towards him, if that makes sense. So I just think we need to be. I think if we play exactly like we did at home, we'll win this game, even if it finishes 0-0. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think we've got enough to get the job done against this Spurs team, and then it's just whether or not how Arsenal or Liverpool get on, isn't it?
I don't think we need to underestimate, like even with 2-0, we don't need to underestimate. There's no team. There's always teams that. There's always teams that something always can happen. You know what I'm saying? In any game and any time, ref give somebody a red.
Who's refing this
Stupid
game?
penalty. A shitty set piece. There's easy ways for shit teams to score.
You watch Alonso give away a penalty, and then we'll be like, "Oh, you shit, we hate you."
Alonso. Yeah.
Or should I say Roberto Carlos when he's against Spurs, isn't he? He's a changed man.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, he might be there next season too. You don't know.
The thing is, I think Marcus Alonso gets a lot of stick, and I think if you look at how much we paid for him and what he's done for the club, I actually quite like Alonso. Do I think there's better options out there? I do. Do I think he's defensively great? No. But I think for the style of play that we play and for what
I'm with you. I'm not always blaming everything on Alonso. But
do you understand why the board? Do you understand why the board are not rushing to bring someone in? Because a lot of Chelsea fans don't in this January market.
Well, we've got 5. People remember we've got 5 left backs. Like everybody's saying,
they're all dead left backs. So.
No, they might be right.
He starts
you go,
well. He starts the season off well, and then he just drops form after 3-4 games to the season.
But do you know that
the system does that?
On the if we being fair, and the bad form in December that we had, he's the only fault for one game actually. The rest of it was the different reasons we actually conceded the goals. It's not always because of him we're drawn the game.
It's not about that with Alonso for me. It's more than that. That's the thing. It's not just him being an issue defensively. Offensively, we're not great with him going forward. The system suffers massively because we need players that are energetic to be able to play.
Okay. Why we ask?
Can I counteract this?
Here's what.
I was just going to counteract that where he was saying
I was going to counter.
Yeah, you go, mate. You go. You go first.
No. I know you. I know what you're saying. That because you think that our win backs, whatever the positions you think that they play in, that their creativity we suffering too, based on their creativity. But their creativity is the reason why we in the first place. The midfield is the reason why we need the wingers to create. That's why wingers are going into the midfield on a higher position in the midfield because there's a lack of players on the in the opposition box. So we have to substitute because we keep somebody at the back all the time because we're afraid if we get countered, we're gonna lose the possession of lose the goal. So we don't want this guy to go forward. We'd rather put our wingbacks up in the forward position.
Yeah. And Alex has said this before. The reason that we may suffer a little bit offensively with Alonso is because they don't allow him to get forward. Because if he goes forward and he loses the ball, that's counter City right there. It's on.
Can we also look at the fact of the other attributes that he brings to the team? Because I feel like sometimes it gets overlooked about the fact that he's a great aerial presence in attacking free kicks and corners. Depending where the free kick is, if you need a left footer to absolutely bend one top corner, he's top of the list out of all the players for me. Like, who else are you going to want taking?
For me,
I'll take him. I'll take him taking the corners over Mount.
Me too.
I'm just going to throw. Yes, technically he's fine. I ain't got an issue with that. My issue again with him is not only just the energy. It's when he gets the ball, he's so slow with it.
I agree with that. That's why he wasn't the starter.
We slowed down.
That's why he wasn't the starter.
It allows teams to get back into position.
He's okay backup.
And he wants to go sideways.
So again, just to answer that though, right? So what you're saying is he's a good player. He's just not a great player, which it sounds like you're agreement with. But the argument would be is we don't want another great player because that's what Chilwell is. You're not going to go out there and get two absolutely world-class left-backs fighting each other positions. You're just going to cause unharmony in the dressing room. I want
a squad that's going to compete. And to compete, you need to have players that are going to challenge for positions. So
I agree.
That's my issue with it.
But
I don't want to.
That's not
I don't want to have a Chilwell who's up here and then go and bring a player in that's down
reality though.
I want a player.
I'm not blaming him for not being
Ashley Cole and Wayne Bridge lasted for like 2 seasons. That was it. You can't sustain having 2 left backs who can start in the same team.
No, and just to go on to that point as well, we've got to remember start of the season, Alonso was getting picked over Chilwell by Tuchel.
But even then, I was very consistent about this thing and this system. And I always said to people, part of the reason why we're not playing great, and people saying we're just winning games, but we're not playing great, is because I do believe that Chilwell was better in that position.
Jim,
when Chilwell came in, he had 3 or 4 assists and how many goals? And how much?
I'm going to tell you again, it's because you blame it on the wing backs going forward. I'm blaming on the midfield not available, and you make wing backs go forward in the midfield. That's the difference.
What's the difference between
Chilwell for our wing backs to create and go forward, backwards, and do it? That's why I see it.
You see, when we play now, teams are on the defensive side of the things. We used to have our wing backs above the half, over the half line. Now that Alonso's playing, our wing backs don't go forward at all. When Chilwell was on the left, you notice that we spend minutes in the other. He'll spend minutes on the other half. Sorry.
Can I ask you a question?
Now,
go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry,
finish.
I thought you finished.
No, finish what you ask. What you want to ask.
I was gonna ask everybody a question. Do you think that we have the same problem we did before, in the beginning of the start of a season, that we have problem? Do you think the teams are putting a low block to beat us or not?
No,
I'll start that.
That is obvious.
Do you remember when we used to say that we are like a low block teams, the ones that we have problem with?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What about now? What about now that we're playing? What are we blaming on now? Because teams don't.
I think they're different.
So Russian,
we started copying goals. So
yes.
I'm gonna put it there.
No, that's my thing. I was about to say the low block teams back then to what they are now are completely different from me. Because what a low block team will do now is near enough the same in terms of stopping the space in between for us to create and score goals. But what they do at a later stage of games is that if we are still 0-0, if we are 60, 70 minutes in games, they will go for it. And that's where I think the difference in low block is now is that they're hard to break. And if we don't break it and we score, and it gets later in the game and we're running out of ideas, they will always have a moment in the game where they will have an attacking moment. And what they do is they move forward at that moment and we get caught. And it's happened, isn't it? We've been caught and we lose 1-0.
I don't remember the last time the team has put a low block against us.
So Russia,
At home, they do it. I think at home.
I
think at home teams played low block against us mainly anyway.
No,
I agree.
don't see it because I think everybody started to pressure us in the midfield, and we're losing.
No, but
We're not controlling the games. We're not controlling the games like we used to.
Yeah, but that's down to us again because we don't move the ball goddamn quick enough. We are so slow with the ball in that transition. So
can I just add?
Yeah, when we play teams at home, just so I'm going to finish off now. When we play teams at home, a lot of teams, because they're not being shifted right, left, centre, forwards, backwards, it makes it look like it's a low block because of the way we're playing the game against them. It's because they don't have to be moved because they're not being shifted, and that's why I moan about our forward line because they don't move enough, and that's why Havertz, when he does play, I think gives us that movement. Much as you don't like it, Timo Werner, it will run into space if there's space, and that will create, pockets of space as well. We need players that are going to create space. That's what I'm saying. When you're playing against teams that are just going to sit,
we need the players that can see the player can create space. We don't see the player. We don't have players that can see that pass in the beginning.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
So Russian, hold on. Sorry, I'll counteract that because you said we don't have the players, and I disagree. And I've been waiting to chime in with this. Can any of you tell me a time throughout this whole season where we've played 3 games in a row with our strongest team available? We haven't had it. We've always got our midfield out, our strikers out.
What our strongest team? What our strongest team?
Well, this brings me on to the point. You can't turn around and say, as a team, they can't do this, they can't do that. We haven't seen it. We don't know. If I was to tell you, ask anybody here, or everybody here was to write down their strongest 11, I guarantee it'd all be different. Because we haven't seen our team well enough in action to judge them.
Because we don't have a strongest 11.
We don't have a strong 11 at all.
But that's because, and that's fair enough to say. If everybody had been fit for over a 3, 4, 5 game week period and we'd still been getting the same results in the same situation, I'd take that on the chin. I'd be like, yeah, you're right. It's not good enough. We don't have the players. But until you get the team together and actually get on a run of playing,
I can count you with that. We don't have a start 11. But we have a starting system and we have a starting player that we play in all the time and the tempo and everything.
Rudiger.
In fairness,
11, but in fairness though, I don't like this ideology of a starting 11. I think and again, I don't think that's the way that you can ever expect it to be under Tuchel. Tuchel doesn't have a starting 11. He uses a 16, 17 man squad. It's always going to be rotation.
Well, to back up what Matt is saying, there's been one game this entire season where all of our players have been fit, and it was for 1 week. Like the very next week, again, guys out. Like I'm talking like Chilwell, James, all those guys healthy. Pulisic, 1 game this season, only one.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like we don't have a starting 11 in the positions that we have a fundamental of our team. We always had the starting.
No, I get what you're saying. We don't have any.
There's no backup for Jorginho.
Yeah.
So the only thing
no matter what you do, you're playing him and around him.
So the only thing I will agree with you on, Russian, because again, I don't like this ideology of a starting 11. I think the days of that are done, just like the old 4-4-2 formation. I think it's just in the past. But the one thing I will say is, and maybe this is something where I do think we need improvement, our spine of the team hasn't been consistent and good enough through a long period of time. We haven't had the spine correct, and I think that's probably the thing we need to sort out more than who's our starting 11. Well, actually, who's your spine?
I also do think Tuchel likes. I think the manager that we possess at the moment likes not having a first 11 because he likes the opposition guessing, and when he keeps them guessing, they don't know. Like you saw against Spurs recently with Conte. They don't know how we're going to set up. It's hard to plan against Chelsea because you don't know what we're going to do. And this is why I keep saying about having a different system, because having a different system means certain players can adapt to that system better, and that gives us another option. So
but he also said
3-4-3.
That's not a big news.
He also said that him going to the back four this was a run. It was because Conte and Thiago was out. It wasn't because
Yeah, he didn't do that on purpose. Like, let's be honest. That the only reason we switched to that back four is because we literally did not have the players to play the 3-4-3.
So he's just adapting something that
it worked out. It worked out for us, but it wasn't. By no means was that like a planned thing.
It's not something you could see him go to against Liverpool or City at all.
The thing is, though, with that, and I agree, it wasn't. So it was more his hand forced than his hand pushed it in that direction.
Yeah.
But because of how well we played, he's smart enough not to disregard that formation in the future and go, "Oh well, I only played it because of this reason. Let's go back, and I'm just going to be set in my ways."
But depending on personnel, though, you think that you could go to a back four with Jorginho in the middle?
Well, no, this is the problem, because the one thing I will say about our defenders at the
You
moment,
can go with Jorginho to back four. The problem is you're gonna have to have a player with him all the time.
Next to him, yeah.
Two players, really.
Yeah.
You really, if you're going to have Jorginho in the middle, you need 2 8s next to him.
Yeah.
Can I just say, like, so for me, there's a couple of players in the team that you have to acknowledge are formation based. So for me, like, Alonso is a great example. Jorginho is a great example. Some of the others,
Rudiger
I think, Rudiger in some points. They're players that are designed for this formation. You know, if we were to change formation,
I mean, he hasn't been tested on a long time in a back four. But I think he can do back four compared to Jorginho. He cannot play back single six at all.
I think if we were ever to go to
Rudiger can adapt to back four, but Jorginho can't.
Well, the thing is I think Jorginho just gets dropped in them games because as good as he is and as highly as I rate him, I don't think in that formation he's effective.
This is shameless.
Wait. What about Jorginho in a?
What is your shit agenda?
What about Jorginho in a 4-2-3-1?
33 goal assists, brother.
You're playing with Kante.
What in Manny Mace?
Playing with Kante, yeah. 4-2-3-1 with Kante.
Yeah, because whenever Jorginho played in a back four, he always had a shuttle next to him, even at Napoli.
The thing is, as well, like, I think we have better options. Like, I wouldn't start Jorginho in that sort of format. I love the agenda on the screen, by the way.
Timo,
I don't understand why he been hating so much. I think he did all right.
Who's that?
Agreed.
Who are you talking about?
The blonde with blue eyes.
Wait, why are you showing this? This is embarrassing.
What's embarrassing about it? What's more embarrassing is the people. What's more embarrassing is the people that are under him at 33 goal assists. That's what's embarrassing.
Oh, really? That's embarrassing. He cost 50 million. He makes 270 a year. Timo Werner makes 270K a year, and he's comparing to a guy that makes 80K a year. That's number one. And number two, he has 33 goals in assists. But he's a striker that should just have 33 goals by itself.
We need our money back.
That's the way. It's embarrassing.
Hold on. Right. You do realise anytime you bring in a wage to argue against statistical information, you're just lowering your point of view. Because it doesn't matter whether it's...
Hold on, man. You're bringing transfer fee, would you?
How?
No. I'll argue this, Tom.
You were saying, how can we bench a $100 million player before? And now if someone brings in a wage, you straight away lowers their argument.
I can argue this. Because when I said benching a $100 million player...
It's going to be a hard one to get out, mate. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think it is, because what I said is you can't argue wage into statistics. So the fact that he's paid £100 million a year or £1 a year, the fact that he's scored as many goals or created as many chances is factual information. That's stats. You can't change it. It's not made up.
Some stats, Matt, that on your point that you made out. You said, why can't we can't bench a $100 million player, but we bench a 73 million keeper and a 75 million Havertz as well.
So if you're going to quote me, if you're going to quote me correctly, I didn't say you can't bench a £100 million player. What I said was you cannot expect a £100 million player not to be able to play 2 games on the trot. There's a difference.
You said we couldn't bench him for Man City.
Go back and listen. I didn't say you couldn't bench him.
All right,
Go back and listen. I said my exact words were a $100 million player should be able to play 2 games on the trot.
We didn't sign him for 50 million. We didn't give him 270K to have 3 more goals than Mason Mount.
And Mason Mount has been poor.
I agree.
Mason Mount wasn't bought for 50 million with a 60 goal in 2 seasons expectation. He has 33 goals and assists in 2 years. Mason Mount has 30.
Horrible. We need.
And I agree with all this. I think people are missing the point about my comment. What I'm saying is, though, if you're angry, a player is getting paid 270 grand 270 grand, and they're not performing to the level you expect, right? There's two ways to look at it. Okay, they need to try harder, but your overall anger needs to be at the board or whoever chose to bring him in and give him that money, because they're the ones that said you're worth this.
Look,
What I'm
this
going
whole
to
conversation
say is, guess who's won the most points since 2020/21? Timo Werner. Guess who's been involved in more
Actually
goal?
not Timo Werner.
Guess it is Timo. Guess who's been involved in more goal contributions, but not. No, wait, guess who's been involved in most goal contributions, but open and non-open play goals as well? Timo Werner. Guess who's had the most? Guess who's had the most legal goals ruled out against him? Timo Werner.
Do it, Jem. Do it.
He's offside.
Embarrassing. Show me the
Guess who's not?
You want to scapegoat this guy because you're scapegoaters. That's what you do.
You are. You're scapegoating Werner.
Guess who's missed the most?
You can say whatever you want about Christensen
Guess who's
every
missed the
year,
most
every
1v1s?
game, but we can't talk about Werner.
No, I agree. He needs to score a goal, but the fact that you actually just make him sound worse than Morata is ridiculous.
No, because he's.
I think I have a question. Why everybody at the bridge sings Timo's name and he hasn't been great?
Because he shows effort. That's why. Because
singing because of
the match going
effort.
fans like his effort. Yes.
Passion and desire.
So why you don't sing Pulisic's name? You don't sing Doy's name. You don't sing Rudy's name. You sing Timo's name.
Because he shows more effort than the other guys. I just said.
Passion and desire, man. Get to know.
So the argument why you shout. I mean, to be fair, Pulisic, I think, is by Chelsea fans. Well, definitely is, as far as everybody I've spoken to. The reason Cho probably doesn't is because Cho has had episodes in the past of throwing his toys out the pram. You've seen it on the pitch and off the pitch.
From where?
Werner hasn't. So sometimes you watch Cho, right? Where? So do you want me to speak, or you're just going to keep shouting where?
Because you're not going to. Because you have no proof. But go on.
Are you asking a question? Is it rhetorical? Do you want the answer? You tell me.
On. I said go on.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. So if you watch last season where he got a couple of games in and he wasn't doing very well, look at his attitude on the pitch, the way he was throwing his arms up, kicking off. He had
out of frustration.
Did you watch the games?
Which games was he throwing his toys at the Prem? Where?
I haven't got the exact games. Go back and look.
So
if you're a Chelsea fan, you would have seen it. Are you going to
talk about the Southampton game? That game?
I just said I can't give you the exact games off their hand. It was over a period of games.
So when has he thrown his toys at the Prem? Because he hasn't.
Well, just like I said, in games, for me, his attitude did not seem right in certain situations where he wasn't getting the ball or wasn't doing the good passes. He didn't seem like his head was in the right place, for my opinion. You can have a different one if you want, but the reason is, would you agree that Werner's never done anything like that? Would you agree he always works hard? He always tries to do the right thing.
Differently, you know. Timo Werner just keeps going offside when he's frustrated. He gets offside.
Wait, you're saying he's offside on purpose?
No,
I mean, out of frustration, he does things on purpose.
Hey, can you tell me when Werner's not getting the ball, does he drop in to pick up the ball, or does he just stay out?
I think he's been better this season with it, if you're my honest opinion. I think he's
he had another German yelling at him. He has a German man just speaking German to him.
So bad. Oh my god.
I feel like there's a heavy agenda on Werner.
It's massive.
Like sometimes I feel like
meant to do something that he's not doing it. He's not producing it.
It's how in detail you actually go about it. You don't talk about Ziyech about like this, Cho about this.
We don't talk about Ziyech about this. Wait, hold on.
Like,
Jeb, you can't do this because you were cooking Ziyech the whole of last season, and you knew he had injuries. Yeah, but Ziyech had loads of injuries, and he didn't have as many starts as Werner. Bro.
And he still produces every time he plays.
Yeah.
The thing is, we've all got our agendas. It's not like I can sit here and have a go at people for having an agenda against Werner while I've got an agenda. I've got an agenda against.
No, speak for yourself. I have no agendas, man.
I have no agenda, mate. Listen, I'm Chelsea Football Club. I just love hearing people's agendas. This is funny.
You
just, you know.
I feel like people have players they like, people have players they don't like. I personally don't like Christensen. I'm probably sure there's loads of people that do. I do like Werner, and I know there's loads of people that don't. The only thing that ever frustrates me is when people try and argue against the statistics, or they try and argue with the manager's decision to play him, and they're like, "Why are we playing Werner?" Well, because Thomas Tuchel's our manager, he won us the Champions League. We should have faith in the fact that the reason we play him and keep him is because Tuchel wants him.
And then he
just
scored.
think sometimes
Tuchel does not like Werner, bro.
You're gonna see in the summer what Thomas Tuchel does.
That's the question.
Why in the early
When he scored, everyone goes,
bro, Daniel, hold on. Remember the Liverpool game? Everyone's saying Timo Werner was gonna start. What happened?
Timo is not going to be here in the summer.
Werner's a bench player. He's a bench player this season. It's a fact. He's a bench player this season.
A lot of players will not be here once Tuchel gets his team ready.
As I said, in the league this year, he's going to score less goals than he did last year, and I want to hear what the excuse is then.
Well, he's not playing. Well, how many games has he played this season?
He started 6.
Well, hold on. I thought Tuchel liked him.
And he purposely caught COVID twice.
He played a ton of games last season. This season, he's not played as many.
He played a ton of games.
He's played about.
How many games does he need to get 7 goals for you?
He's played about 11 games and started about 7.
Well, look.
Out of those 7 games he started, how many goals does he have?
I think the only goal.
How many games has Broja played?
Daniel, wait. The goal Timo scored where he started was Southampton, and the assist he got was against Tottenham. That's all he's done this season.
And then you see why Tuchel's trying to bring in Dembele.
They're mentioning the fact that he hasn't played as many games or whatever it is that he needs. Apparently, he needs the same amount of games. 35 games. He needs 35 games.
Yeah, he started about 7 of them, I think.
I want to check.
How many goals does he have in the 7?
Is he better than Broja?
He has one, bro.
In 7 matches, that's a bad ratio.
Is he better than Broja? No?
It's either 6 or 7. One of them.
I don't understand this. Why does he need 30 games to score 7 goals? I'm asking is 7 goals.
It's just funny to me how people just backtrack. He wasn't bought to get goal contributions. He was bought to score goals. So when you look at, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Thank you. So said it.
Oh, made you fail.
So I'm somebody that loves.
Without a goal for 7 games, if I remember.
I'm somebody that likes Werner.
Okay, but
I rate him highly. Do I think he does what we bought him to do?
Hold on.
How many chances do we make for Lukaku?
Let me finish. During Timo's first 10 games, how many chances did he have compared to Lukaku? How many big chances did he miss compared to Lukaku?
I don't know off the top of my head. If you can tell me.
He missed a lot, bro.
Wow.
He's missed like 20 big chances this year.
In front of goal, Timo Werner.
Oh my God. The payoff. There was no payoff to that answer.
No, I'm not.
But in front of goal, we all know that Timo Werner is poor.
I guess he wanted to know the number based of you, but
so suspense.
How many chances?
I thought he was asking me.
Last season, Timo Werner, we thought that in front of goal he was nervous. This season, we noticed that Timo Werner is in front of goal and he still can't score. So,
do you know the problem that we have with Werner is we look at him in 2 different lights, and I think that's sometimes the issue. So, if you rate Werner as a striker and his goal contributions, has he been disappointed? 100%. I think he's not good enough, and we should get somebody else in. Yeah. If you look at his overall play, though, and I know taking a wild step here, and you looked at him as saying being an attacking winger or somebody that was on the side with his runs, his assists, the amount of penalties he scored us. If you look at his attributes and work rate in a game, he's a very good player. The only issue is, though, if we want him to be a striker, he's not good enough.
Do you think if he'll play for Liverpool, he will do better?
Listen, he's a worse footballer than he's a striker. That's what I don't understand.
With no answers.
Bro, you didn't answer.
Remember the Curse 9 shirt?
How many chances did Timo Werner had last season?
I'm looking at it now. Right now.
Well, before asking a question.
The Champions League
match alone. A lot.
The Champions League match alone, he missed like 2-3 chances.
A lot.
You can't quote about having high stands for Chelsea and back Timo Werner. That's an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron.
Look, we're not backing him that he's the greatest.
High standards only apply to the young players.
I'm back every player, man.
No. I just like to throw some of the people the way their agenda is just fulfilling their thing. I don't think Timo Werner is the horrible.
if we're
I
being
don't think
serious,
no.
I
Alex,
don't think he's as bad as you guys make him sound. That's my honest opinion.
Here's
he's worse. He's worse.
No,
He's
he's
worse.
not worse.
Thank
No,
you,
he's not.
Andrew.
He's not. That's nonsense.
Andrew,
Jem, you've
look,
got to tell
No,
me why you're...
to be
Jem,
fair to team,
hang on,
to be fair to team,
Siwa, let me have a bit. Jem, you've got to tell me why you're doing this because it doesn't make any sense.
No, you
ever
tell me
go
why
at
you're doing
Christensen
what you're doing.
for
That
one
don't make sense.
misplaced
Right,
pass.
go on.
You ever go at Christensen for one misplaced pass or anything? But you have the gall to back Timo Werner, one of the worst Chelsea footballers to ever grace Stamford Bridge.
no.
You know why?
Morata's
You
worse.
can easily win a
Morata's
Timo
worse.
Werner
Andy.
Hang on,
Stop.
let me land.
We play a possession system, right?
Say all that when the stats are what they are.
You know you can win a Timo Werner debate when they go, he's got 30 goal contributions. He was bought to score goals. And those goal contributions, the goal stats are lower than the actual contributions in there. He is rubbish. He has no trick.
I was done.
He has no finish. Oh, he runs about. Alex, you can put one of your children on the pitch and they'll contribute more than Timo Werner because they run about on a pitch.
I knew I was done with Timo.
Trash.
I knew I was done with Timo when he missed that beautiful
will cost us
pass
games. He's been bailed out.
From
he
Ziyech.
is simply one of the worst footballers to ever grace Stamford Bridge.
Yeah,
and whoever's backing him,
and now since you're talking to me, I want to answer you.
Do not ever say you've got high standards for Chelsea because that just shows you don't.
No, I don't think it's that, Andrew. To be honest, I don't think you not having.
I can go
player. Now we don't understand. Okay.
Let me answer, Andrew.
He's misunderstood.
He's not the worst player that Chelsea had.
Compared to Morata, he is.
Said one of.
Okay, one of. Okay, never mind. You got that right. I don't rate Timo
I always leave myself a bit of an out, Alex.
Even Higuain's.
Can I answer the guy? Can I showtime?
Better
Can I answer
No, let Redden go.
Here's my view of Timo Werner. I don't think we bought him for goal. I think Lampard thought that we're gonna play a specific style because if you remember, Lampard wanted to play club. He wants to be a club system, and I think Timo Werner was one of those players. I agree with them on that. But the problem is we did not have the midfield to play to the strings like Liverpool. That's how Timo Werner got into a team. Then then Tuchel came and he realized how we consider the game. So he played Jorginho in the back. So now we became a position type of team. Timo Werner does play well in the position time. As a matter of fact, he's horrible against the possession against the low block teams. So does we say, but you can't say the goal contribution. It's not an asset. It is an asset.
It is. That's the problem.
No. You let me land. Let me land. I agree with you that you think that we bought him for goal contribution, goal things. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
The problem is we bought them when Lampard was in charge, and Lampard had a vision for a team from different way. That's the fact. The problem is we used to play differently under Lampard, and he was bought it for that thing. Now he plays differently.
Alex, you know when he starts the game, right? You know when he starts the game, be honest with me, right? Do you expect him to score or add a goal contribution when he starts? Do you expect that?
Boys,
I expect a following, even
Russian. So
before you say all
that,
you said Lampard signed him to play like Liverpool, right? As the wide forward. Who scores the goals for Liverpool?
Salah.
Where does Salah play?
On the right.
What? Oh my God. Salah.
So who else scores though? Dan?
They're the ones.
Dan, who else scores in that team though?
Mane.
If you're going to take that stance, you obviously don't think anyone else scores in that team. That whole front three, you're so interchangeable, right? And they all contribute.
You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is with Timo Werner, right?
I don't understand. Hold on, Jim. I know it's your channel. I don't understand what Daniel said.
He just told me that he decided to play a system that resembles Klopp's system. The Klopp system is wide forward for goals.
You debating that Lampard did not. Yes. Why you ain't getting involved? I'm talking to Daniel.
No, I'm saying what you said, bro.
No, I'm asking you why you getting involved. I'm talking to Daniel.
I'm not saying anything correct.
Guys,
go ahead. Move on, Sia. I want you to speak correct.
One second. I just want to finish off on this Timo thing. Look, I He was brought in to score
Okay,
goals.
I'm asking
100%,
Daniel,
and I
and
bet that. What Andrew said is right. I
correct
don't disagree with what he's saying in regards to Timo Werner not scoring goals, because we bought him and we were all deceived. Let's get it right. We're all just deceived thinking that he was coming in to do that, and he hasn't been doing that. Fine, I get that.
I fucking knew
But
that it was not, because
my-
you don't.
My thing with Timo Werner is that I don't think I don't think he's Chelsea material from what I've seen up to now. Yeah, but my issue is that when I look at everyone else that was also around him, people like Ziyech, who have been absolute ghosts for the last 2
You
seasons.
can't compare Ziyech to Werner.
How you can compare an injury
But
player
this is my
to
point. This is where it
Timo?
becomes a problem, because the energy's not the same for me.
Jem,
And
he
that-
can't. Jem,
that-
he played he played the most minutes
No, but
as an
our forward
attacker.
line, listen,
the
why
whole
can't we
season.
just say our forward line isn't good enough?
Yeah, it
Period.
isn't. It isn't.
Ziyech, Havertz, Kalamasanadoi, Pulisic, yeah, Werner, yeah, all these people that are in that forward line haven't really done much, have they? The last 2 seasons, we've not scored more than 7 goals.
Why can't we?
At the end of a full season, and that's came
I know.
from fucking Mount, wasn't it?
And this
Or
isn't
Jorginho.
just with Werner. Why don't we just all? Why do we all do this? And especially with Werner and it. Oh yeah, but what about this player? Let's just
Andrew,
focus
do you know
on
what it is,
Werner.
though? With
People that
Werner,
defend
who is with
Werner go. People that defend Werner go. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but he's got more contributions than this. Let's focus on Werner. He is poor. He is not Chelsea standard, and he is not what we need. He needs to go. Like the rest of them.
However, I do think in games with Timo Werner, and this is my opinion from what I've seen of him, that I do feel like that he does bring something in this system that Tuchel plays more than other forwards that play in it, because I do think it's more suited to him to a degree, not massively, but to a degree in terms of running off a main striker. The problem with Timo Werner is he's not a main striker. He's not a main striker. You need someone that he can play and use.
He's so lucky he's got pace, or else he didn't have pace.
He's lucky he's got pace. But
hey, I'm in the middle here. Can I come in as well? I'm right in the middle because I agree with what you just said, Jim, and what most people said. And Werner does bring. He can still improve. He does. I think he brings a lot. But I think he has to be sold because of the wage he's on. Because the wage he's on prevents you from bringing all the other players, all the transfer targets you guys have been talking about. So just on that fact alone, right? He's been held to a high standards, and anyone on that wage, or even if Lukaku doesn't produce, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to say, sometimes he does all right, sometimes he scores against the bottom teams, and that's why we have to hold him to a higher standard.
If Timo Werner scores more goals than Lukaku at the end of the season, what are you going to say? Just to
They both have to go.
They can both come.
They can both go because it's not going to be high, Jim.
They can both come.
I'm gonna say, Jem, when did you wake up from your coma? That's what I'm gonna say.
No, honestly, I'm just saying, if we get to the end of the season, say Lukaku gets injured and Werner starts playing most of our games and he scores more goals at the end of the season, what then? What happens then?
Lukaku's got injured. We'll just say Lukaku got injured.
So does him. So does Timo Werner was injured.
Yeah, he has. He's been in and out as well. But
he's been more injured than Lukaku.
Season, now, how many goals does Werner have now?
What did you say?
Lukaku have now?
Nothing. Again, never involved you. I speak
You're
to the other
saying it's the whole panel, bro.
Is there something going on?
I don't know. Jim,
make it a 1-on-1.
Look, let's be honest. Werner seems a great guy and tries hard, but he isn't great in his play. Take it forward. Let's get him. Let's get. Oh, guess who's here as well? Who's come to defend?
By the way, Andrew, I agree. He's not a good player for Chelsea. I agree with you. But it's just.
I just don't think our forward line's that great. Other than
all of them are.
I'm not gonna keep buying. How can you allow this to happen?
I'm not gonna criticize.
How can you allow like people saying Werner is not good for a team, or he's not good enough for a team?
You're out of order, Andrew.
That's what I wanted. That's what I want. If we change the middle, I want to criticize.
I agree. I just think he gets
the same energy. That's what I want.
The middle has been the same since the start of the season. So why are you saying the middle is the problem?
Exactly.
Listen,
I don't
all
want
there
to
is
get
is
involved in this
yeah,
conversation with the
we'll
middle
go
again.
on
It's a
No,
to
different
answer that.
conversation.
You said the middle. What has changed since the middle? Jorginho's still there. Conte's still there. Kova's still there. What has really
Oh,
changed?
I guess you just met me. You don't know why I criticize the midfield.
No, I haven't met you. I've seen you on several different channels, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure
because
out
I don't rate
how
how
does
we
the
play. I don't want a possession game.
He wants faster,
That's why.
faster build up, faster build
Alex,
up.
but
I
you
do
but you
think
like
we're
what
gonna
but
become.
you
We're
but
gonna be a
you would you
possession team.
prefer do you prefer what we was playing with Frankie, or do you prefer how we were playing with Super Tommy
You
Tucci?
can't play a counter-attacking system with in this modern era and expect to win the Premier League. It's not that anymore. The game's changed. You
Well,
have to be
Leicester
quite in
didn't win.
possession.
Like who
No,
do you
that hasn't changed
which
that much.
system suits us better?
No,
The
but
2-2
Danny,
system
you
or the
And
can't
the
play
Frankie
Liverpool
Lampard
play.
system?
counter-attacking anymore. You can't.
You guys are talking about the real world, yeah, not FIFA. Yeah,
What?
Yeah. The people still think that the FIFA is the real.
we're playing FIFA. Hey, Andrew, I want to answer one of your questions. You know why people are so overprotective of Werner?
Showtime. I
Because
don't
they're
rate
so
Yeah.
Jorginho. That's why.
Sorry?
very
Me
hopeful.
neither. I don't like Jorginho
Oh.
too, but I feel like
I hope the kills you declare.
you're blaming the midfield when
Declare.
it's not
Turn
the
my
problem.
volume up.
Declare.
When did
Do
we
you
become
agree? Do you agree our
You
midfield is
mentioned
slow
the
to build up for the forwards?
I think there is a player that's the problem. I don't think the midfield is the problem. It's the only player that everybody knows is the problem in the midfield, Jorginho.
I don't
And
know.
when
Tell
he
me, Showtime.
and when he doesn't play, you see the difference within our midfield.
Who is
see
it?
It's a too long of a conversation because it's a different way you looking at
Anyway,
it.
we want
I'm looking-
let's say Klasrev. We want Klasrev defend.
Go on,
No,
Clash.
let's not
Clash,
get
Clash.
Come and tell Andrew he's a bullshitter.
Russian.
Go on,
I'm
he's a
saying though,
bullshitter, he's a liar.
we know
I
that
can't-
Jorginho is the problem, but the problem
right.
is
I
not.
can't see you know somebody can win a match like a team can win a match without Werner.
I knew
You
he
know,
was coming with that shit.
Tuchel always prefers Werner.
No, he
You know,
doesn't.
Lampard preferred
No, he
Werner,
doesn't.
even he had missed a lot of chances.
Why
And
is
the
Werner on the
German coach
bench?
preferred
Okay, wait,
Werner.
Klasrov.
Everyone,
finish,
listen.
let
When
him
you
finish,
go,
let him
listen. Can I fucking talk?
Yeah.
When you go for a war, you don't have the same kind of weapons all the time. You can't use a shotgun for a long-sighted, target. Listen, Werner, whenever he's on the pitch, he gives
Yes, you
us an
can.
early goal. When he's end of the what do you call a minute, he gives you assist or a goal. You need that sort of an energy. You need that sort of a confidence, or you need that sort of an ejaculation. To be honest, this Werner guy is electrifying. That guy is, you need some
Are you
sort
horny
of
these
a
last 2
change
days? What's
in
wrong
your
with you, man?
field. Without Werner, there is no possibility that we could have ended fourth. Without
Do you see
Werner,
what's going
there
on in
is
chat?
no possibility to
I
be
hear that.
in Champions League winning team. Without Werner this season, even he has only started, I think, very less Premier League games, but he has started a Champions League game. He has scored 3 goals, 3 assists. And listen, the last game,
Against
Chester
who?
game, he scored. He gave us the first goal, and then he also provided the assist to Havertz, which was not offside if VAR was there. That guy
If
is
look,
giving
He's
if
been
you
Werner
silky.
is
heart
so
in the
That's what he's
soul.
saying.
You guys think Lukaku finishing or have a silky touch is good enough to be a footballer? No, good footballer is a very hard-working.
Stick to
Klasrov, why
Timo Werner. Stop
why
giving
When
stop
Timo
going
why is
for
sold in
Werner
the summer, I
Stick
hope
to
this guy
Timo
cry.
Werner.
I want to see you
Stick to
cry.
Timo
Klasrov,
Werner.
The
That's
guy
what
has
you do all the
skills.
time.
His first
Stop
touch is
deflect. We're
amazing.
talking about
Listen, the
Werner. We're
technical
talking about
ability
Werner.
debate came
Speak about
when we
Werner.
signed Lukaku because Lukaku had no
That's what I
technical
mean. See,
ability,
he's cheap.
no
He'll go
first
to other
touch,
players.
and they started blaming Werner for that.
Klasrov, why is Werner on the
Stick
bench?
to
When Timo is
Timo
sold
Werner.
in the summer,
Why
you're
is
gonna
Werner
cry.
not starting games this
He's
season?
gone.
Why isn't he starting games this
Bro,
season?
Mourinho is gonna sell
why?
him.
Listen, Timo is not getting sold.
The beautiful
He
Mourinho
is
It's
is
getting
in
gonna
your
sell
sold.
head.
him.
He is
You're
getting
going
sold.
Hey,
I
against
believe
YouTube's
it.
algorithm.
How about
hey,
Salah?
It's
Kashraf
in
said
your head.
it's what you bring to war. So why would you use your nuke straight away? That's why he's on the bench, Eric.
Mourinho,
Listen,
the beautiful
I'm
Mourinho is gonna
not
sell
going
him.
to start Werner today, right? But when you need Werner, he will come. Because if Lukaku and Havertz start today, I'm sure we're going to be 2-0 down too. And listen, I need Werner for City, gay. Listen, these
Why?
fucking
Why
pussies,
do you need him? Why do you need him
they
for
keep
City
on
game?
leaving because when they have an argument there for Werner, they leave. They run away. These are
Klasrov,
trolls, man.
what
These guys
is
are
Werner going
trolls.
to do? You need
You
Werner for the
Spurs,
City game, right?
you do what you do all the time. You deflect other players, which I just said before you came on. Stick to Timo Werner. I don't know what it is. If he
Yeah,
wasn't,
so
can I just say
Timo
this?
Werner,
Can I just say this?
I
And
have
you've
to
proven it
adjust
in the
your
past.
liking
If he
because
wasn't
you're going to
German,
say
if he wasn't
Timo
German,
is
you wouldn't
shit.
back him.
That's the easy way out for you. You come on stream, you say Timo is shit, and then you want me to defend it and not go on other players.
Kostrov,
Well,
why
no,
do
because
you need?
did you hear what I said? I focused on Werner. I didn't speak about any other player apart from Werner. I didn't say he's better than this
That's your
player.
prerogative. Listen, that's your stance. You stick with Werner, right? Werner is shit, right? You said Werner is shit. I said Werner is not shit. I said Lukaku is shit. Havertz is
Kostrov,
shit. Why should I be talking about Havertz and Lukaku? The guys
Because you can't defend Werner. Because you can't defend Werner. You say bring a weapon. With Werner, you're talking about bringing a spoon to a knife fight. That's what you're talking about when you talk about Werner. He is a
Can you
poor player.
imagine our team under Tuchel without Werner?
Yes, it happened a
I've
few
seen it
times.
hundreds of times this season when he wasn't playing. We were in a good
First
form.
game,
Yeah, I've seen it.
You're talking about Spurs.
I don't think his overall
he
play
had
is
back
as
They
bad
play
as
for they play for the same national
Jem,
team.
he's got no.
and
Jem, he's got no trick. He's got no.
No,
trick,
but he hasn't
Jem.
got no trick. I agree with that.
He's
But
got
I
no
don't
trick.
think he's as
Werner has got a lot of tricks. The way he does one-to-one touches, the way he dribbles, the way he does dummies against players, he has all sort of tricks. Like, why do I have to accept, like you're saying, he doesn't have tricks? He has one.
Brian,
Name
I'm
me,
not
name me,
fucking
name,
blind.
sorry, name
You're
me
talking
something.
to
Name me a trick
people
he's done this
like
season
I
that's led to a
coach
goal.
football.
Name me a trick he's done this season that's led to a goal.
Yeah. Sorry?
Give me one. I'll give you one. That Zenit one. I'll give you one. That Zenit one.
Yeah, but it's just not in his game, is it? So we're talking about his
Exactly.
weaknesses right now. So
No,
I don't know what I'm
exactly.
talking about.
Lukaku team was
Exactly.
Like,
That's what I
Werner,
mean.
is it? Like, it's stupid.
No,
It's
that's
like,
what I mean. But that's
it's
what
like
I mean.
saying I want to see Ziyech dribble over players. Ziyech can't dribble around players. He's just not got the
But
pace.
what is
but he
Werner's
has a
thing though?
And
sweet
Ziyech
left
is a
foot
problem
though.
as well. That's why if we
Do
do
you know
talk
what I
about
mean? Though?
Ziyech,
It's like
I
we're
want
talking about
Ziyech gone.
people's weaknesses here that they're not going to do because it's their
Okay,
weakness.
Jem,
Jem, if we were
what
talking about
what is his
Ziyech,
strength
if we were
though?
talking about Ziyech, I'd want Ziyech gone as well. That's what I'm saying. I'd
What
want
is
Ziyech
Werner's
gone
strength?
as well.
Listen,
That's the thing.
Ziyech
Ziyech
can
has
go
done
for
way better
Werner.
than Timo.
Werner, whenever he's on the pitch, he's gonna give you something.
What
You're
Yeah,
what's he
only
gonna
headache.
do?
It's going to give
listen.
me a
You're just
headache for
talking about
missing. That's
assists.
what it's going to give.
Listen,
This
every
is why,
striker misses
Andrew,
5 chances
a whole
per
forward
game.
line is poor.
Yes.
And I
Yeah,
think
I've been saying
you
that.
can't.
That's what
No,
I'm
no,
saying.
no.
Yeah.
Oh
Everybody
my
been
God.
saying that. It's not a discovery. The problem is whereas in the world football you have that situation where the whole everybody, not only starting whatever, everybody has a problem with the front. Like every player. That's something. It means something. Not everybody's shit.
Yeah, I hear
It
that.
mean something. It's behind it.
I just don't. I listen. I'll say he's a bad player, but you know what? My expectations of Werner are not high. So if he does do anything, it's quite surprising. Yeah. So I'm never disappointed. Really, I'm just like with all this. I do think he gets protected. I think he gets protected. I think other players get protected, but we're not talking about other players. We were talking about other players. Fine. Ziyech can go. Pulisic needs to improve.
You know what?
Cho needs to improve.
Yeah, I don't mind criticism of any of our forwards, but you know what it is for me? When he comes on the pitch and I come online and then I see him do a bad pass, I bet you any money it will blow up about Timo Werner straight away. But no one will talk. But that's my thing. Like how you say that you don't like it because he's protected. I just get annoyed when I go on there and every little thing the guy does.
There's no listen. We all know there's no middle ground.
That's why you see me with the reaction because
there's no middle. Yeah, there's no middle ground anymore.
Adama could do the same thing. I don't think you see it as much. Do you know what I mean? It's frustrating.
There's no middle ground anymore, Jem. There's no middle ground.
Listen, Andrew, one thing I disagree with you. You're comparing Werner with Ziyech and Cho. They are not his caliber. Werner is way ahead.
Havertz is better.
Do you see what I mean?
You can't compare him with Mason Mount, Havertz, Ziyech, and Cho. He's way ahead in pecking order.
See
His
talking
talent.
about caliber now. Caliber, unbelievable.
You don't
Andrew thinks he's useless. Glasser thinks he's great. I don't think he's useless or great. I just think he's useful, in my opinion. In certain.
Havertz is better. We all know this already. One German has to stay. One German has to go.
But again, this is what football's about: opinions, right? Because none of us are here to be right, to be massively right. Unless someone's protected Ross Barkley, then there's a problem. Right?
He's the first flight. He's the first flight out.
Oh man!
Listen, that's the one thing our fan base can agree on. None of us like Ross Barkley. Get that guy.
You know the thing about Werner. I like the thing about Werner is you can actually sell him. He has value in the market.
Yes,
so
he
you
does.
can actually sell him.
Why?
So that's
does.
positive.
If somebody
Need our
has a
money back.
value,
No, the value. You
you
can sell
wouldn't
him. And
sell
he'd
him.
still get
Put that on a
decent
shirt,
money for
Jim.
it.
We need our
Yeah.
money back, Timo.
Yeah. You know,
It's
sell
only
him.
You already
proven.
fucking won the Champions League, you prick. He
Hey,
gave
calm
you
down.
every fucking thing. Listen, stop playing brain games with Werner. He's not there for you. Fuck you, bro. Like, he's not there for you what you want him to be. He's gonna do his thing. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
He didn't win us
Like,
the
stop,
Champions
We
League.
signed
stop
him to
saying,
score
oh,
goals.
Werner,
Listen, I
Werner,
get
Werner.
that. I
Listen,
agree with this comment. I 100% agree with this whole thing of we bought him. We thought he was going to be the new Diego Costa dropper and score all these goals. He's not done it, and that's why all the Chelsea fans are so angry with Werner. They don't like him because he won't score goals. That is
but
literally
it's
it.
not
What we
his
brought him
Wait,
to
problem.
do,
that's
It's
not a
our
fair comparison.
problem. It's Mount's
To be fair, I
problem.
think I
They
put
are
the
22,
I think I
23.
put the
They're
right
not good enough. They're
context
not
to
there
it.
to provide Werner's service. Werner make his own service. That's why
Yeah,
he has
and
He
problems
needs
he
to
with
doesn't
pass him
score.
the
goals.
ball, Clef, to for him
Hey,
to
And
but
now
hold
you're
on.
Gets in
talking
front of
about
goals
Lukaku.
and
Oh, man,
fumbles.
He makes his own
Werner has
service
such
and
an
he
amazing
misses the
time. If he had Griezmann or somebody more like productive
Griezmann.
player like Goretzka or probably Kimmich, he would be more like into goals.
So
He
he
would
should
be
go to Bayern,
producing
right?
five goals.
Yeah.
Now
So he
you
can go to
fucking
Bayern.
got
Go back
Lukaku.
to the Bundesliga.
He should
What
go
are
to
we gonna
Bayern.
do with Lukaku now?
Hey,
Well,
What is
actually,
what are we
actually,
gonna
if
do
we-
with Lukaku?
actually,
hey,
he's
hold on.
cost,
When we
he's
had
cost,
Lampard,
he's cost Lukaku about 4 assists. So that's what.
that's right.
So Lukaku
Hey,
said
when,
four
We
times.
have
That's true.
seen what
hey,
Yeah, you're
Lukaku
right
how
about that.
under Lampard, when we were all complaining that Werner wasn't being played in the middle, he wasn't brought in to be the next Diego Costa this day. He was brought in to be inside forward to play along with the striker. So my expectation was he still had to score, but he wasn't the Diego Costa that we were bringing. And he did it. And Lampard gave into the fans and did it. So you can see his intention from the get-go. He wasn't going to be the main striker. Tammy Abraham was the main striker.
It's
And
not
then
even
now
that.
you see, is no Frankie Lampard, is Super Tommy Tuchel,
But
and
we saw
changed.
that. Let's face it. All the
Tommy
look at all the
Tuchel,
chances he
Tuchel,
missed last season. They weren't like hard chances.
Tommy
were
No, they should have
They were
scored them. I
easy
agree.
chances, weren't
Yes,
they?
I
Yeah,
agree.
he's a
Expected to
striker.
That's
Every
why everyone's
striker
hopeful,
misses
Andrew,
a lot
because
of
he did everything
chances.
right but
You're
score.
not gonna just make
Yeah.
highlight out of striker missing fucking chances. Every single you put Michael Owen into it, Alan Shearer into it. They have missed millions of fucking chances.
Did
You've
they
just
clear off? Did they
made
clear
a
off
Do they
the
play
compilation
for
opposition?
of
How many
Tottenham?
did they score?
Do they wear the badge?
Scoreboard,
and
they missed.
he's missing chances. Fuck
Do
They
they
you.
missed
wear the
chances,
badge?
but how many did they score? What are you
Okay,
talking
tell
about?
Did
me
they
a single player
exactly?
in the
Yeah.
I
history of
mean, come
football.
on, just
Tell
why
me
you
a
why you
single player
talking?
in the history of football who doesn't miss chances
That's not the
in
point. How many
every
did they
That's not
single
score?
the
game.
I just
point.
asked you.
The
That's not the
How many did
conversion
point.
they
rate of
score?
every single fucking striker
How many
is
did they
one
score?
goal out of 10 shots.
How many did they
Isn't
score?
his
How many did
conversion
Werner
rate in
score?
single digits?
Werner's conversion rate is on the
That's
floor.
a normal,
In case you didn't know, it's not
that's
normal.
every
No, it's
single
not.
striker
No, it's
for
not.
you.
No,
No,
it's
it's not.
not. So
No,
stop
it's not.
lying. It's not that.
You're talking about goal on shots
Bro,
right
shut
now.
up, man. What is so dead?
Here we go. I'm gonna.
What the
There
fuck
we go.
have
I'll
you
leave it
on
now.
then,
I'll
bro?
leave it.
Like,
Now we got the
you've got like
extremes. We've got the super
agenda.
extremes now. We've got the super
Yeah.
extremes.
It's because of
now.
people like
It's
Klasrov
the
that
super
Werner
extreme.
gets
Werner
so
could
much
score a
hate.
hat trick and he would go, "It's shit." He
No,
said
but
he
He
should
is
have
shit,
scored a
bro.
hat trick.
Werner gets
You
hate because of people like Klasrov
Alex,
because
you got a
they
cigar?
protect him. So that's it's their fault.
Man,
It's their
Marina
fault.
I
Granada
hate
Sky,
people.
we trust.
I hate people back
Marina.
further. It annoys me.
Oh, he
Yeah,
wears that.
because you're a
Just
fucking
jacket.
cunt,
That's it,
bro.
You're
W,
a
you're a
fucking cunt, man.
fucking
You're a
cunt,
fucking
bro.
cunt. It's fucking
Hey, this is
weird.
Marina,
family
Right,
show.
Marina
right,
was
right.
sub
Right,
to
right,
you.
right,
Listen,
right.
listen,
Marina,
wait.
Marina was
W,
sub to
you're
you.
trying to do what United already Rashford has already done, destroyed a fucking club with his fucking local fan base.
Marina was sub to
Guys,
you.
guys,
At the
guys,
end of the
guys,
day.
PR.
guys,
No
You're not gonna
worries. We'll
fucking
get some
destroy
revenue back
Chelsea.
for
guys,
Chelsea.
Guys,
guys.
Lukaku's not gonna fucking destroy
Calm
Chelsea.
down.
In
Calm
Marina
down.
Granada Sky, we trust.
Calm
Right,
calm
guys.
down, guys.
Let's just calm down for a second. Anyway, JJ Bridge with a donation is how much is Werner playing Cresswell to represent him?
It's free, bro.
Obviously
It's
enough.
free.
Obviously enough. But listen, I have got to shoot. Nearly 2 hours in. Big show. I want to do a quick score prediction, starting with Andrew. Andrew, score predictions for tonight's game.
I'm gonna go 1-0 to us. I think it's gonna be
1-0, yeah.
Yeah.
Werner?
Hey, I'm gonna be a hypocrite. If he scores, I will celebrate. I'm a
Yeah, it's
football fan,
fine.
I'm a
That's
hypocrite.
cool.
I'm a
I
I'll for it. Yeah, cool. I would love him to. And then in front of what's his name, Conte, like that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? He'll get some Browning points for that as well.
If anyone scores against Spurs, they get huge brownie points from me. That's just a personal thing, so you know.
Unless it's Werner.
Redneck, what are you saying?
No, including
5-0 hat trick, Timo
Alonso.
Werner.
Yeah, hat trick, Timo
I
Werner.
was going to say.
What's
Showtime.
Alonso tonight, Alex?
Showtime.
3-1.
3-1.
Timo scores, Lukaku scores, and Kai Harris is the best on
Oh,
that.
I don't think we ever had the front three to score all the goals in one game.
We're gonna see. Tonight's the best. And in Marina Grana Sky we trust, the beautiful Marina. Happy birthday in advance, Marina.
Birthday to her.
We love you.
Damn, dude. Are you ready to?
We love
Eric
you, Marina.
Blue.
Yeah, I'm going with a 2-0 or 2-1 or 1-2. I think it's away, right? So 1-2.
No. Sorry. No.
You think we're gonna score?
Yeah, we'll score twice, and they'll get a consolation goal.
I don't
There
think
you
it's
go.
a cancellation.
Declared, what you say?
I'll go with 2-0. Werner to score. Jorginho penalty.
Yeah, baby.
That's ref. What you say?
at
4-0. Werner hat trick.
Listen, I don't give shit about Werner's goals. They are complimentary. I just like the man himself. Like he's on the pitch, I just love it. The
Yeah.
guy with that something.
Let's just go.
I don't care. Listen, 2-0, 1-0. We're gonna win.
Fair enough. W. What you say?
1-0. Alonso cross to Lukaku, and I predict that Werner's gonna miss a tapping.
Oh, man.
You want to put the money
You know
on
what I
it?
mean, though? That's the problem.
You want to
mate.
put the
Like,
money on it?
Why do that?
W,
Anyway,
you want to put the money on it, or you pussy again?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
Bring back Ian Matson.
Listen, Jesus was
Recall Ian
crucified.
Matson.
All the
I'm gonna
hate
go
got
with
that
a,
Werner, the guy who does the most hard work,
Guys,
and he won us the
I'm
Champions League,
gonna go
and the
with
amount of hate he
I'm gonna go
gets,
with 3-1
like,
Chelsea.
oh god.
That's it.
Recall
One second.
Ian
I'm
Matson.
gonna go over 3-1 Chelsea. I think Kai Havertz will play tonight, and I think he'll score.
Kaiser just sucked the pussy last night.
I'm gonna 1 second. W. Fuck's sake.
Oh, W, man.
For 1 second, he did a W. He did it
Yeah,
for 1
he did.
second.
I heard it. I can't say it on
1
it too
second.
much, but he likes licking something. Yes. That's right.
Oh man.
Havertz, Werner, Mount. That's what I'm going with.
Mount's been
front
forward. He's
three.
not gonna score.
Yeah, I'm going with front three Havertz.
Oh,
If they play, obviously, it might probably be Lukaku
Yeah,
up
yeah,
front.
yeah.
I have it.
You know that the country, you know that like there's a world shortage on the tampons.
You want Chelsea?
You know that, right?
Anyway,
Because
I
there's
don't
a
want
bunch
to
of
finish
pussies in the
without
world.
Westbrook saying he's going to lick anything. Yeah, so let's finish on a nice note. Big up everyone. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back tomorrow for the preview double header. We've got
Champions
the
of Europe. We know
match
where
reaction
we are.
for tomorrow's game. And
We
we've got
know
the
where
Prem
we
show
are.
in the evening
We
as
know
well.
where
So,
we
big up
are.
everyone.
Champions of
later on.
Europe. We know
Subscribe.
where
Subscribe.
Subscribe and
we
stuff the
are.
spud, man.
we
Stuff
know
them
where we
spuds.
are.
Order your
Champions
t-shirt.
of